Hi, everybody, and welcome to my kitchen. I am Dana. How are you guys doing? Robbie's doing some dog wrangling. Rocky decided that he was going to bark in his very annoying, very high-pitched bark every time we would go to touch the button to start. So he's taking him outside to see if he can, calm him down a little bit. Oh, I'm muted? Uh-oh. Hang on. They're saying they can't hear me. Hang on. It looks like it's getting sound. Can you guys hear me? Can you I can't see if they're saying anything. Let's see that. Oh, you can hear me. Okay, you were muted.
Elser, you're giving me a heart attack.
Because Robbie's already been fighting with this for like 30 minutes in there. Okay, good. Then you can hear me. At least I didn't say something I didn't want you guys to hear. So, hello, Brittany. How are you? And can you hear Rocky too? Because he is being something else right now. For sure. Today we're going to make some tamales. I actually did a batch earlier today to remind myself how to make them. And also, tamales take a really long time to make because you steam them for 90 minutes. And I didn't want Robbie to get hangry. So now I've got something I can feed him in the meantime. So earlier today, I made some green chili chicken ones. There's a bunch of words in there. But anyways, it's got, what I did was I cooked the chicken and then I put some green chili sauce and some green chilies and some a little bit of chicken broth and some spices and stuff and cheese, a bunch of queso fresco. And so that is and sour cream. And that's what's inside these tamales right here. So I am not making pineapple tamales or raisin. We are doing this is the chicken ones. And what I've got in here is I was braising some pork shoulder. So we're gonna do a pork tamale as well. You've never had tamales before and you don't even know what they are. Well, let's start there with it, okay? So you can see we use corn husk and we wrap on the inside here. And I don't know why I'm yelling. I feel like I'm yelling. And then on the inside is a nice little masa pocket. So we've used like the same things we make tortillas out of. And except that we start with a base that's warm water and masa like we do with the tortillas, but then we add lard to it. And you put it inside of this leaf and then you fill it with whatever filling you want. So this one's got the filling of the chicken on the inside. So that is what a tamale is. And then you can serve it with guacamole or salsa. And here in Texas, it's a really big thing like around the holidays. They'll have it at holiday dinners. So you had a piggy cookie earlier. I decided to stick with doing just the savory tamales today. Depending on how today goes, maybe we'll do some sweet ones in the future because we can't do them in the past. So in the future, over this way. So that's what we're going to do today. I do want to get a couple of things started just because there's a little waiting time on them. And the first is you're going to be buying. These may be hard to find in some places, such as, I don't know, Australia. These are just corn husks, and they have been cleaned and bleached. And so instead of being, green, they're this color now. You don't enjoy the sweet tamales? I don't know that I've ever had a sweet tamale, to be honest with you. When I've had people bring them over on the holidays, they've almost always been pork, beef, chicken, bean and cheese, in that realm. But anyways, they're really hard when you get them at the store because they've been dried. Can you hear? So, and they tear really easy like that. So what you do, and I did this earlier and I think I've got enough for tonight too, is you soak them in warm water for 30 minutes to about an hour. Then you take them out and you just kind of let them drain a little bit. But you don't want them to dry out, so you still want them to be wet. So I had a wet towel that I just kind of put over them. And now, you see they don't make any noise. And then that's what we're gonna wrap them up. And then you're gonna take little slivers of them like this, and that's what we're gonna use to tie them up. So we'll put that back on because we don't need to do that since I already did that earlier. So warm water, 30 minutes to about an hour. They would be, you think they would be easy to find there? Give it a shot. You could probably use something else if you can't find those leaves, but any kind of leaf that you can roll it up in to steam them, because then once we've got all of this in here, they go into a pot and they steam for 90 minutes. So even though they're different colors, yes, that's true. Oh, they would not be easy. See, that's what I was thinking, Elser. They might not be easy. But you could use something else that may be in an authentic Australian or New Zealand type food that uses leaves to cook things in. So, okay. So this is what we're doing, but we're gonna do pork. So most of the pork tamale recipes have you using like a pork shoulder that you've braised for 5 or 6 hours. So instead of you guys just staring at me for 5 or 6 hours, I went ahead and braised some pork over here. I don't know if you can see that. And all I did was I took the pork shoulder, probably around 4 pounds of pork shoulder, and I put it in here with water just enough, about halfway up, or to cover it a little bit, with some cumin, chili powder, garlic. I think that's it. I think that's all I put in there, and let that braise, because that'll help when you're braising the meat. That helps break it down so it's just like, just falls apart like that. That looks really yummy. I think I'll eat it. So now, in a minute, we're gonna make the filling for that. And all I did for this is I put it in here in the Dutch oven, cast iron Dutch oven, because that'll stay really hot for a long time. I boiled it on the stove to get it started, and then I put it in the oven and let it slow cook for about 5-ish hours. I probably would have normally kept it in there longer. This is nice and tender, so I'm not too worried about it. Any tamale can start drying out after a day. Now, if you keep them wrapped up like this, they're gonna be easier to rehydrate because you can re-steam them when they're this way, as opposed to like a lot of times when you buy them in the store, they've already taken them out of the corn husk, and then they're a little harder to steam, because if you steam them, it's just gonna become a great big mess. So if you store them this way, they'll stay longer. Hi, C Films. I am doing great. I'm glad that you are here. Thanks for being here. Okay, so the first thing I want to do with the I want to get the masa started for the dough, okay? And so I'm gonna have to move some of this stuff because I gotta bring the mixer over here. You do not need to use a mixer to make the masa dough for this. This is actually new. In the past, I've always done it by hand, but this was a lot faster, so we're gonna do that here. I said tamale, yes. Tamales. We are making tamales. T-A-M-A-L-E-S. Tamales. And the singular version of that is a tamal, not a tamale, but a tamal. So if you're only eating one, you're eating one tamal. Robbie's having a day. You get 1 or 2, that's a good way to do that. Hi, Jason Erickson. Thank you for the follow, and thanks for being here, and welcome to our community. No, it's not tolmole, no, or tomole, it's tamale. Oxen, did I miss something? I may have missed something. I don't know. All right, the reason why we're gonna start the dough first is I know, exactly. Exactly. That's how Robbie's feeling. So.
I think I'm better now.
Are you? We're gonna have to make him a drink soon. So what we're gonna do here, let me get this over here. I'm only doing a half a recipe of the dough. And just so you know, we ate a couple of these earlier, the tamales earlier.
Quality control.
For quality control, exactly. And that's only half a recipe for the dough. So typically when you make a full recipe, it's gonna be for about between 40 and 50 tamales, depending on how big you're making them. So we're only gonna do a half of one for a couple of reasons. First of all, we would be here all night. Uh-oh, am I out of, I'm gonna have to switch some stuff around here, hang on. Da, da, da. Plug my light in someplace else. There we go. Did it change colors? Oh. It's always fun when you have a light that changes colors. That's very blue, very blue. Robbie is not liking technology today. So we want to rehydrate this dough. So kind of like when we let doughs rest after we've mixed them. Ooh, that's very yellow. It's fine, it's fine. We're gonna put some warm water in here. And I'm gonna need 2.5 cups of that. And look at this, I'm just kind of running all over the place. Whew. We're gonna have plenty of time to talk. Plenty of time in between things. So I'm gonna do 2.5 cups of water, and I'm gonna be lazy because my sink takes forever to heat up. And I am just putting 2.5 cups of water in here and let it heat up. I don't need it boiling, but I do want it warm. So I'm gonna turn that down so we don't boil it. And then I am going to measure out using my half cup, 2.5 cups of masa dough. Is that right? No, 3 cups of masa dough, so I need 6 of these. It's 2.5 cups of water, 3 cups of the masa dough. And masa is, if you haven't been in here before or haven't been here when I've made tortillas, it's corn that's been, they actually make masa using the I'm blanking on how to say it, nixiltized corn, and then they dry it and they make this flour out of it. So if you go to a really good tortilla place, it won't go through that process. It'll be made directly from the corn without ever drying it out. So I'm gonna try and count this. Remember how good I am.
1.
My neighbors are kind of close behind me. They're not too bad. But on back here, yes, they're pretty close. 2. Robbie's counting for me. And so is Fallen Age. It's good. I need 6 of them. 3. I'm making a mess. 4. Now the trick to the masa dough for this is don't overthink it. 5. I'm standing on my toes too. Was that 5? That was 4? That was 5? Okay. And this is 6?
You really do need us to count.
I do. 6. Okay. And now, after I just swept the floor, there's now stuff all over the floor. That's okay. All right, this is 2.5 cups of water in here. It's now warm. We're gonna pour this in here. And then we're gonna mix it and then let it rest before we put the lard in. Oh, yeah. So just stir it up. It's gonna get kind of a Play-Doh-y consistency to it, a little bit softer than a Play-Doh. But when we add the lard in, that's kind of the consistency we're going for this. So that's it. It's not good to overmix it. It doesn't, yeah. So right now I'm just getting it mixed so that it will hydrate. Because it is one of those things that if you overmix it, it'll get a little tough on that. Fallen Age did put in the chat earlier before we are on that the tamales at Costco were not good. They were too salty. And I do find that people do that. Now, a lot of times you'll just find plain, like in those kinds of, the store-bought prepackaged ones, a lot of times the dough is just the 3 ingredients, maybe a little salt in it. I like to put a little bit of flavor in it. And I don't think I put enough in the dough earlier today, so that's it. We're just gonna let that sit over here while we start making our filling. We got plenty of things. We're gonna be making some rice. We're gonna be making some bananas Foster. We're gonna be making margaritas. I know Robbie's like, when can I make the margarita? All right, so back over here. And maybe I'll switch these around so you can see a little bit better. I'm gonna take this out of the braising liquid. I'm gonna save the braising liquid for now, just in case I wanna add some in here. I'm gonna take out any big chunks of fat that I might find. I tried to cut a lot of that off. I don't want, when I'm braising the pork shoulder, I do wanna leave some fat on because that's flavor that gets cooked into it. So lard is good, yes. If you try to make your tamales, the masa for the tamales with anything else but lard, they will not have quite the right texture to them. We're gonna shred all of this, so this is a lot. And then I need to get some garlic from a Mexican tamale place. Ooh, a mole.
Sounds good.
Yeah, and banana leaves are another way you'll see them wrapped up as well. I would be real, like banana leaves aren't gonna have a whole lot of flavor adding to the masa. If you're using anything else to wrap them up in, you wanna make sure that whatever flavor that leaf is gonna give you will go with what you're cooking. I probably don't need all of this. All right, that is probably enough of that. I'm gonna turn this on because what we're gonna do is put this, and I'm gonna look and see what else it wants me to put in here. Hello, Alpha Pest. Thank you so much for resubscribing. You've been here for 3 months. That's awesome. Awesome. Oh, yes. They're really cute until they're not. So let me do this. Do you have a rock yet? Because I'm going to do that through today for the rocks, for the subscriptions, and then switch to something else starting on Thursday. I think I'm going to need some garlic in here real quick. So let's get some garlic minced. And actually, I'm going to turn that off until I get the garlic going. I'm sort of set up for tonight. You know, it's those days when I have a lot to do that I'm way more organized. Is anybody else like that? When I have like all day to get ready for things, I somehow find that a lot of those times I'm not as prepared because I keep telling myself, I have time. I have plenty of time. So tamale fillings are traditionally, you want them to have moisture in them, but you don't want them to be like overly wet.
Did you want it over there now where you are? Or?
Oh, yeah. Ooh, there we go. Robbie doesn't trust me. I know he's gonna get the fire extinguisher out when we do the bananas Foster.
Does that involve fire? Then yes.
Yes. We're gonna be lighting the moonshine on fire. Because that's not terrifying. Thank you. I'm looking forward to see how these turn out. So this recipe now that I'm making is one Robbie and I, when we first started dating, actually took quite a few cooking classes together. And this was one of them. We did these pork tamales. And I think we did another tamale one, but I can't find the recipes for it. Didn't we do one that was like a New Year's Eve one? And it had like shrimp.
That must have been the other guy.
Well, there wasn't another guy that I did any cooking classes with. So.
I don't remember a New Year's Eve class. We might have talked about one, but I don't think we ever went to one around New Year's Eve.
Okay. I thought we did some holiday ones. Oh, offload all her junk. I need to offload all my junk. And so she'll just be at the treatment place during the day. So one of the things that I will be doing in sometime in the near future, we haven't actually decided when yet, is one of the other food and drink streamers, Lil Miss Nikki. She and I, she's got a new initiative for mental health, and because I'm a therapist, we're gonna do something. So stay tuned. That was very helpful, wasn't it? All right, we're gonna put some chili powder in here.
Brittany asked how we met.
Oh, how did we meet? Robbie, would you like to tell the story, or you want me to tell it?
I'll let you. You're the talker.
Oh, well, I think that's enough chili powder in there now. So I was in grad school getting my master's degree, and there was this guy named Jason, and Jason is blind. And so he needed help with the formatting of papers and stuff because he couldn't see if they were formatted right. So for example, when he would listen to his paper, it wouldn't tell him that maybe there was an entire page that was blank or that it had skipped lines. It didn't give you that kind of information. So I started helping Jason format his papers. And we got to be really good friends during all of that. And I'm looking for my salt if anybody's wondering why I'm wandering around my kitchen aimlessly. Where is my salt? Oh, there it is. It's hiding. And so once I graduated, and he was still going through his PhD, so I was helping him with his dissertation and stuff. He was asking me, hello, Spunk TJ, check the floor. I think could be there. Hello, Bravewood Beanery. So he, where was I going with this? You know what? I think there's hope I don't have like giant chunks of garlic in here. Because there was garlic in the pot. I don't think I did. So anyway, so I was working and we're talking and he was saying, hey, are you dating anybody now? And I said, you know that's your job, right, to find me somebody. And he said, I did not know that was my job. And so a few weeks later, he messaged in Facebook, and there was a random person in the message that I didn't know and said, Dana, this is Robbie. Robbie, this is Dana. You're adults, figure it out. Okay. And that's how we met. So we started talking together on the phone, and Robbie was never going to ask me out. So I asked him to go. I had tickets to a baseball game. So we went to a baseball game, and that was our first date, Robbie, just so you know. Because Robbie was like, was that our first date? Yes, it was.
I was kidding at the time, but
you say that now. You say that now. All right, I'm gonna be lazy today and use green chilies. And I'm missing a bunch of stuff. Did I miss anything I need to answer? Is it romantic, Elser? Is it?
Tell you always dreamed of meeting me.
Yes. Exactly. It's very interesting. I don't know if anybody else has tried dating these days, but not having, even cell phones when I was dating back in the day. This needs some broth in it. We're gonna Throw that in. I'm gonna turn that down. I'm gonna let that simmer a little bit on there. But it's just a whole different world when you've got to get on trying to meet people, you know? So yeah, so hey, Alpha Pest, do you have a rock yet? I can't remember if you have one of our rocks over here. You know, it's like, and then it has your word of the year on it. If you don't, give me your word of the year. So they're also working with the family. That is awesome. So I always say that with kids, if you think you can just kind of drop your kids off and there's not something you can learn about it, because again, I'm a therapist and people will come and say, fix my kid. It's really important to get the parents involved so that they can understand different strategies. You're happy and come to terms with factual diet. Aww. You got friends? We're here. So there we go. That's going to be our filling for it. Now, you can do all different kinds of pork. I'll tell you what's really good is to find a nice, like Mexican-inspired, almost barbecue-like sauce, like a chipotle is really good. So there we go. So there's that. So let's take a look at our dough now. The thing about the flavor, you know what, I think I might put a little cumin in there too, because I feel like I'm missing out on the chili powder without some cumin in there. And we're gonna put some in our masa dough too. So that'll work together. Rocky is out there barking and barking. All right. Ugh. You already tried marriage? Me too. But I'm okay with the right person. So if they come along.
What do you think, guys? Am I the right person?
All right. So let's take a look at what this looks like so far. The dough is a little soft, a little like Play-Doh. It's like soft Play-Doh is what it's like right now. So we're gonna put some lard in there. But what I'm going to do, this block of lard, which is a pretty common one in the United States that you'll find, is basically 2 cups of lard. I used 1 cup earlier. So this is another cup. I'm gonna stick it in here first so that so I can mix it up and make it a little softer. So it'll mix into the masa dough. Now, what's funny about this is I never did this. We didn't do this part, I don't recall, when we took the class. But since it's one big chunk, just start to kind of fluff it up. You can use like a hand beater and then it'll almost liquefy a little bit, and that's okay. So you don't have to use a mixer to do this. You can definitely cut it in like with a pastry cutter if you have one. So is anybody, so good shocks happen when you two are together? Sometimes.
Sometimes.
I mean, when he was, yelling at the computer 20 minutes ago.
Hey, it fixed it, right?
No, it did not. It did not.
Hi, Rocky.
So, has anybody else ever made tamales from scratch? Hello, Koopa Cat. Thank you for the follow. Welcome into the community. I keep meaning to ask people who are following and stuff to tell us a little bit about themselves, like where are you watching from? What kind of food do you like? And I forget to do that. All right, Let's get this lard in here and let this start mixing up. Are you?
So violent.
I know. Do you need me to move this over? Like, I've got lard on my hands. Some call them sparks instead of, you made, okay, so you made Bravewood Beanery. How did yours turn out? And do you have something different in the way that you make yours versus what I'm doing? Because I think when we did these in the class, we definitely used a pastry cutter to cut in on the dough. But this worked pretty good today, although it made a mess of my mixer. Yes, some people do call them sparks. That is another way to look at it. So we'll let this go. And really, honestly, tamales are one of those things that is like pie dough. It doesn't have a whole lot of ingredients typically, and they're not that difficult to make. It's just learning how to get the textures and stuff right. Yes, the technique. Oh, you mean for rolling them up into the corn husks? Yeah. A mess, you say? Yes. It was like there was lard everywhere because I was trying to put the lard in with this down, which was just really a mistake. Do I like Crisco? For some things, I do. And like for my pie doughs, I like to use the butter Crisco. I think it makes a flakier crust than, say, butter. But you got to get it really cold. Really cold. So it's still like a soft Play-Doh. It's a little sticky. I find that, you know, it'll start to dry out as we work with it, and then it's like a little hard to work with, and then it gets easier to work with as it dries out just a little bit. But if you let it dry out too much, then it will become difficult to work with again.
Yeah, Bravewood. The last time we made sushi, the rolling of the sushi was
that was
challenging.
It tasted really good, but it wasn't the prettiest thing on the planet.
You could tell we were not experts yet. And that's
But-
putting it nicely.
But we weren't streaming it, so it's okay. We just got to show people the finished product, and I got to take pictures in a way that it was like, see, look how wonderful this looks. And I know Robbie loves washing these dishes with the lard in it. No?
Oh, I just gave them to the dogs. Is that not what I'm supposed to do?
I do have a dog lard story, though.
You do?
Yeah. Before Rocky, when I had my other Bichon, her name was Fluffy. And Fluffy got into the pantry and pulled out that big box of lard. Not that particular one, but one just like that. And I came home and she had eaten about a third of it. Eaten the lard right out of the box. Because what you have to remember is it's an animal product. So that's yummy for dogs. Okay, here we go.
I mean, who hasn't just given in and eaten a third of a box of lard one day? Come on.
Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to put all the stuff in here I said I was going to put in here. All right. Well, we're going to mix it in now. So we're going to put some cumin and some chili powder and some salt. I need to put salt in there because I haven't done that yet. And I know where my salt is now. Ha 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 ha. It's not hiding anymore.
And it's not on the floor.
And it's not on the floor yet.
Yet.
But feel free, find, you know, if you're making your own masa, what flavors are going to go with what you're cooking, what the filling is. You can put some of that in there. It's not going to be as mixed as it would be if I had remembered to do it while I had the mixer out. But especially if there's slightly different colors to the masa when you put them out, for like Christmas and stuff, then you know what's inside them. So, what kind of tamales did you make, Bravewood? Yes, I'm putting more chili powder in there. Yes, I'm putting more cumin in there.
Are you just trying to make sure that we drink our margaritas later?
I think we will make the margaritas as soon as we get these into the steaming pot. Now, I have a pot that's got like a little insert that goes into the bottom, but you can use any kind of double, the boilers that have the steamer baskets in it. If you don't have that, you can use a pot and go get yourself one of those cheap, little flour steamer things and put that in the bottom. The trick is we don't want these submerged in the water. We want them to steam. Shredded chicken. Well, that is what I already have made. Now we're doing pork. And these shredded chicken ones are good because they have cheese in them. Excuse me. Sorry, I didn't mean to cough on you. Okay. So this is the tricky part. Like, we don't want this one because the masa dough is going to just go right through that. So we'll use this for tying up.
Hold on. Are you not going to just put it back together like the illusionist last night?
I am not. We went to go see an illusionist last night. Cheese does make almost everything.
He could have fixed that for you.
Better. He could have, probably. I do have some panela. I think I was planning on doing some bean and cheese ones, but I had to go run around and look for corn husks this morning because my regular grocery store said their distributor doesn't sell it, so they're not going to carry it, which is just wrong. So this is too big. This is perfect as 2 of them. This one is also too big, so we'll just rip right where that rip is. And there we go. So the best way to make tamales is to gather your friends and use them as cheap and free labor. So I will be using Robbie here in a minute, so he's probably pretty happy about it.
I thought someone else or a few other people in chat were coming over.
Yeah. There we go. We'll use this. Yeah. Nice try, Robbie. Usually it's about 1/3 of a cup, but you can make your tamales, smaller if you want them. If you're looking at like, there's a place in kind of the South Midwest area. It's called the Tamale Trail. Isn't that what it's called? I think it's called the Tamale Trail. And their tamales are like that big. So sometimes you'll see them that big. This is a pretty standard size one. This dough is much softer than what I had this morning. And you just spread I'm going to make one from beginning to end, and you'll see why it's good to have a assembly line going. Tell your friends, I'm making margaritas, and then when they get there and go say, hey, we're also making tamales. Let me put you to work. And then I'm just going to pick this up with my fingers because I think that's going to be easier. You don't want to overfill it. I have a tendency to overfill them, but yeah. Wrapped in banana leaves or a bamboo steamer and a wok. A bamboo steamer, if you have like one that's taller, you could do these in a bamboo steamer, but usually they're too shallow. But if you made really teeny tiny tamales, you probably could. And then when
I like the sound of that. Teeny tiny
tamales. Okay.
I think we have something there.
And you want to make sure that the ends meet. So I usually put the masa almost to the end on one side and leave a little space on the other one so I can wrap it around like that. And then, I went down too far here. This is going to be a little messy. And then you pull this up, and then you tie it. So this one's a little messy. It's gonna probably explode a little when I steam it, but it'll still be yummy. It just won't be the prettiest one in the batch. So, oh, steaming your tamales in your electric turkey roaster. That's not a bad idea. Or if you've got a one pot, you could do it in that. I happen to have this. So this is mine. And then this is the little thing in the bottom. And I probably need to change the water. And this is new. Can you tell because of how shiny it is? Because it'll get that patina, that kind of dark gray patina on it. Can you do me a favor and just rinse that out? It doesn't need to be like washed, but so we can get any of the stuff that came from the other tamales out of there.
The big pot wash?
Yes, it doesn't need to be washed. Just rinsed out and then water put back into it. So the easiest thing to do if you have other people is somebody is sitting here putting the masa on and somebody else is putting the filling and rolling and tying. If you've got lots of people, one person can be doing each of those things. It goes a lot faster. So once my dishwasher is done washing dishes over there. And the other thing you want to make sure, because I found out my tamales were too tall for my pot earlier today. So I had to go back and cut a lot of the leaves down. Did you hear me went, ew, over there? So that's why I wanted you to wash it. I did watch a guy doing these on the internet, and he took like a piece of plastic, so this was completely smooth and in a perfect circle, and I think that, or perfect rectangle, and I think that's overthinking it. So the thing will sit here, so if it's just right below that part there. Okay, so I know Elser doesn't know if they like tamales since they've never had them. I know Aladdin's girl must like tamales. Brave Beanery must like tamales. What about the rest of you guys? You will see, so I think I've told you guys I've had people come over for like Thanksgiving and gone places for Christmas where everybody brings something. And if you have people, as we do in Texas, many people who were actually born and raised in Mexico, or people whose families were born and raised in Mexico, and tamales they brought, there's always tamales, and they were always the first thing to go. In fact, I remember the first time that I saw that, and I was like, ooh, tamales, cool. And the girls were all still in the kitchen cooking, and the guys ate all the tamales and didn't leave any for us. We were mad. We were not happy.
Do I need to leave some for you?
Do what, tamales?
Yeah.
Yes. Because here's the other thing. If you are a gluten-free person like me, well, I'm not gluten-free. If you're gluten careful, these don't have any gluten in them. See, like this one's a little, not quite as wide. So the thing is, don't overthink the dough. Don't overthink how pretty this looks on the inside. Because I didn't, and you can see mine turned out a-okay. This is not, people who do this all the time, they make the prettiest tamales and they taste the same as mine. We can admire them for our Instagram photos. Okay, this is enough of these. We'll put some of this in here. That's just wrong, eating all the tamales, I know. Like, we're cooking. You should save some for us. The other thing about tamales is you want to make sure that you're cooking them, stand them up like this. Like, don't lie them down. If you lie them down, you will get masa dough everywhere. So, hello, you do not eat the husks. So you'll unwrap the husks And you'll be left with, this one was broken in half because I was showing the inside of it. And so if you go to a restaurant, sometimes they will serve them on the husks. It'll usually be like that, at least around here. Or they'll just have them completely off the husk and kind of take two of them and, you know, make a pretty plate. Or some places, because, you know, it's Texas and we have a lot of like roadside tamale and taco places, they'll just put the whole thing on there and you gotta unwrap them. So no, you don't wanna eat the husks, they're not tasty. And I don't know that you could actually chew through them, to be honest. So, you've never seen those? Well, I wouldn't imagine tamales are big in Germany, Spunk TJ. But if you come to the United States, or if you can find masa, I don't even know, can you even find masa harina? It's a real soft corn meal. Can you even find that in Germany? Because it's also gone through a special process that requires a pretty sophisticated machine where they take a lime. All right, am I doing that? You guys can't even see what I'm doing. So like this one's a little tiny, so you see that? My dough's not quite going all the way over. I'm actually gonna take a little, because I'm not overthinking it. I'm like, I just want you to stay inside the little tamale. Stay inside. And now I need to rinse my fingers off again. And this one seems a little small, so the other thing you can always do is take a second husk or a piece of a husk and kind of wrap it around that way and then do that. So again, don't try for perfection here. Don't overthink it because it'll get very frustrating very fast if you try to overthink it. Masa harina, yes. Oh, thank you for putting the spelling up there. I have a tendency to overfill my tamales, so this happens to me all the time. Sometimes I have to take the filling out. And sometimes you'll get really bad tamales that have almost no filling in them at all. I hate it when that happens. I'm like, why are you even making, I'm just eating masa at that point. I want the filling. I'm gonna get another thing to wrap around here. Since I didn't quite make it, people are gonna wonder, why are Dana's always double wrapped? Because Dana likes fillings. You've been eating tamales for 3 months now. Hi, Juan, how are you? Well, we have multiple people here who have never even had them. Did you know that Elser's never had a tamale? And Spunk TJ's is in Germany, so has never even heard of them. So I'm trying to tell them not to overthink it. Now, as my dough dries out a little bit more, I'll be able to pull it away from the corn husk a little more to make them prettier. This one, the filling is gonna spill out everywhere on this one because I put too much filling in there. So, Juan, have you ever had to sit and help make the tamales that you've been eating for 3 months? Probably you won't find it in a regular supermarket because not even in the States will you always find masa harina. It depends on the part of the country that you're in, although I think it's getting easier to find. Oh, I need to finish this one up. Too much filling, Dana. I'm cheating, Juan. I'm cheating. Because I put too much filling in them. It's a tradition, yes. I was just telling them that we used to get them for the holidays. People would bring them for the holidays when we would have big parties. It's not a typical one for us. Oh boy. But we will definitely, well, we'll eat them if all the guys haven't eaten all of them. All right, that's not gonna work. So I keep overfilling them and then I have to fix them. So, oh, you're gonna be extra judgy? You don't want fat tamales. It's fine, you can judge me. You can absolutely judge me. This is not something I learned growing up. It is something I have gone to one class to learn, apparently only one class. So, I'm okay. Do you have any tips for it? My dough's probably a little softer and wetter than I'd like it to be right now. So it's sticking a little bit more than I would like it to. But my first ones turned out okay, so that's good. Have I ever made pure corn tamales? Yellow and white corn, remove the corn, ground it up, add some string cheese and boil them and fry. No, I have not done that. That sounds delicious. Yes, that means the masa doesn't get cooked very well. I agree. Oh, good, I'm glad. Yeah, you might have. It's a family thing. I have this memory and I don't remember, but I can't remember where it's from, but I remember going to somebody's house as an adult to pick someone up, and somebody was making tamales and said, no, you guys can't leave until all of these are done. Don't you hate it when you have those memories and you're like, where do I have that memory from? Was it a dream? Did it really happen? I don't know. All right. So you hear that? Everybody you don't want like a gigantic glob of masa on here. I was telling them one not to overthink it. Some people are really good at making just beautiful tamales, and some of us just make delicious ones that aren't as beautiful. Yeah, I think, so the tamale trail, Robbie was on feasting on asphalt. That was one of the things I think Alton Brown did. Who's back on the road, by the way. They had their last QQ before going on the road on Tuesday. All right, Robbie is not helping me, Juan. What is up with that? They just need to smell and taste perfect. I know when the chicken ones earlier, when they were cooking, it smelled so good in here. But you see, assembly line. Get your friends together. Yours are more on the delicious side, yeah. You had Taco Bell. What is a piggy cookie? I'm not familiar with that. You know what? I used to eat Taco Bell when I was in college.
Which time?
The first time I was in college, not the second or the third time I was in college. I mean, I guess I do have to specify, don't I? Come on. But I used to get the taco salads all the time. And I went back, I don't know, a couple of years ago. I hadn't been in a while because I'm in Texas, so get some real Mexican food. And it was so salty. It was like a salt bomb. And that's coming from me. That is coming from me.
So I would have thought it tasted like the ocean.
Yeah, Robbie would have not been able to eat it. Most likely. This one's too small. All right. Cheating.
I do remember that Aladdin scroll. That must have been a very long time ago, because even the dollar menu's tiny now. Like 2 items or something.
So Kelsey's dad used to go to Taco Bell all the time after we were first married, and got exactly the same thing. So I knew that lunch was going to cost like $3.78. That's what he was going to spend every day. Is this a pork one? I guess so. All right. So you can see I'm not doing, oh, there we go. See now how it's drying out a little bit? I can kind of flip it over and then I can do that. And then they look prettier. Yeah, I think you're going to be hard pressed to find some of those special things on the menus coming up with shortages of workers and food, supply chain problems. Just be lucky to be able to get some food. Hey, Robbie, would you like to help? Because we could be here for hours with me doing that. Did you see Rocky? You guys see him over here? He's my little buddy. He's been like this all day with me while I've been trying to make tamales. He keeps coming over here. He tries to steal corn husks. I don't know why he tries to steal corn husks, but there he is. Yep. It is Rocky. 1, 2. Robbie doesn't like my camera angle. He'd rather fool with that than help me with my tamales. Hey, which part do you want to do? You want to do the masa, or do you want to do the filling and the rolling? The rolling and the tying. Because he's supposed to do something, right? He's got to help me. Do you know how long we'll be here if I have to do this by myself? Oops.
I'm here.
Okay, which part do you want to do? I even will let you choose. You can do this part, or
Can I do the eating part?
you could do the eating part later. I'll let Chat decide which part you're going to do here in a second.
What about the supervising part?
No.
I don't know.
That's my job.
We're being judged. We might need a supervisor.
Oh, okay. So what do I need to do differently, supervisor?
No, you're doing great. Now that I'm here, it's all going to plan.
I don't know.
Like that one looks perfect.
So this one's
That
perfect?
one still needs some work though.
What do I need to
It
do?
needs to be flattened out and need a little more.
Well, show me.
Well, no. I just stand around the hole that you're digging and point. This seems to have way too much in here. You've set me up to fail, Dana.
He's so much fun to work with in the kitchen. Trying to supervise me.
I make an excellent food supervisor. And then what do I do? Do I fold or are you folding?
No, I'll fold it.
You're folding?
Yeah, you're just
Are
putting.
These are good?
Yeah, you just have to get some masa. Thank you, Juan. How's he doing, Juan? I mean, it's definitely not perfect.
That sounds just like me. I must have made it.
Let's see if I can make this one work.
Don't worry, I'll have a great technique by the time we're at the end.
Okay, good to know. Yeah, there's none. I'm gonna need a little more
Boy.
masa on this one.
Are you sure that I'm helping? I think I might actually be making this take longer.
That's okay. Chat loves it. Oh no! You're officially on vacation. Enjoy your vacation. I hope you get a little snow.
Have fun. We will
Have
see
fun.
you when you get back.
Yep.
Maybe
All right.
we'll be done with the tamales by then.
Maybe.
Let's hope.
Maybe.
But yeah, maybe.
Alrighty.
Perfect.
Perfect. He's got to learn sometime, right? How to do stuff in the kitchen.
That's terrible. Technically, I've already done this before.
I know. Don't forget, if you want Robbie to be on his own.
Oh, don't, no.
Okay, are you saying this one's done?
Yeah?
Can I?
I can get you another spoon.
Okay. So it kind of needs to be, at least on one side, it needs to go to the edge. Hey, thank
Thanks,
you, Gideus. Thank you. What are you up to? We're making tamales, and Rocky is helping. Can you see? and
Half
Robbie.
a year already.
Robbie is supposedly helping too. I know, half a year. Isn't that crazy? That is crazy. As we get closer to May and get to the 1 year anniversary, we're gonna have to figure out what we're doing for that.
There's that better?
Yes. Maybe. We'll see. These are kind of a little small, so. I don't usually have to do this all the time. I don't know what's going on here.
Well, that sounds like fun. Can I do that too?
Come on, you're having fun making tamales with me, right? We're making some tamales. So a strict diet. So what does that mean? What are you not allowed to eat? This is like corn, and we've got chicken over here, and this one is pork. What of that are you not allowed to eat?
The unhealthy part. Like, isn't there lard in here?
Oh, there is lard.
Just that.
Just
minor
the
detail.
lard. Yeah, you can do the Robbie option if you want. I'll step away and he can make these all by himself.
Rocky will help me. He won't abandon me. Wait, he's taking a nap.
He's napping.
He's already said, I'm out.
I don't know if we can see him. Let's see, there he is. He's like, oh, look, I'm getting some attention. Okay. Whoops.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, camera failure.
I moved it too much. It came off of the countertop. All right, I'll let you fix that. I'll just keep making tamales. Stick to 1,600 calories a day, probably with the lard. So I think this pork, the original recipe called to put some lard in the pork that's in here, but I did not because I was out. And this pork already had a lot of fat in it, so I wasn't too concerned. Okay, this one. This is a tiny one. We are all over, well, there's not consistency here, but this didn't quite wrap the whole way. So put a little bit there. I swear when I made them today, I didn't even have to do this one time. Double wrap or anything.
I believe the command is !500 to explain it. Or it's
where
down
do you find
below
it?
in the About section. Either or should work for you.
I hope I have enough of these soaked.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Well, this is, and Robbie would only do that if I put in a cooling down period for it.
Well, otherwise we'd be on the air for like 8 hours because I'm not going to get anything done very
I don't want
quickly.
that. But how do you get better if you don't practice?
You watch Dana do it and absorb by osmosis.
No. Doesn't work that way. Now we've got some tiny ones, like snack-sized tamales. How are you?
I'm hanging in there, I think.
Yeah. What time did you get up this morning?
Which time?
This afternoon.
Which time?
You got up more than one time? Okay. Rocky was up before 7 this morning. I don't usually get to sleep in.
So I need to cut
Ever.
this one in half.
No, that one's got a lot of holes in it. Let's use that one for strips instead and pull a different one out. Yep, that's fine.
Just one big one?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Hey, Pops.
Hello, Pops. How are you? Well, we've already been on an hour. You know we've got to steam these for an hour and a half.
I didn't.
Yeah, otherwise the masa doesn't get cooked.
Well, good thing you're
How
cooking
much?
like 2 other things besides this.
Yeah, well, and we've got to make sauces. We're going to be making a salsa and some Mexican rice. And let's see. We'll be doing guacamole, and I'm going to do bananas Foster. We may have that for dinner and have tamales for dessert. Who knows?
That's
Could
fine
be.
with me. This is just very sticky.
Yes, it's masa. So,
Aladdin's girl donated $5. Thank you. Yay.
yay! All right, your time starts
Well, thank you,
now.
Aladdin's girl.
Thank you, Aladdin's girl. Assembly and folding. Well, now he gets to do it all by himself for 5 minutes.
All right, so that's good to go.
Uh-huh.
And now I fold.
Now you got to put some meat in there.
Oh. I guess that's important to put stuff in there, huh?
Yes, yes. Sunday is a day of rest unless you're a streamer.
Were you just using your...
I was just using my fingers.
That's enough? More? Good?
That's a lot. I need a break. Thank you. I'll go sit
So-
over here.
Well,
and-
hang on. Maybe if I squish it down. And then I do that. We're going to have a couple that aren't so good during this 5-minute period, I think.
Uh-oh.
And then we fold, and then we tie.
Uh-huh. My youngest just pulled up. That's why you're jealous that it's still Sunday. This is one place where you get to be jealous, yes.
Ta-da!
Your dogs are barking at my dogs. Looks good.
I'm very proud of myself.
Okay.
Even though I think
even though we can see the meat in the top, so we'll have to
you
see.
keep that point up, and it'll be fine. I'm making a mess here.
Oh, I'm making a mess? I thought you were the
I'm
one
making a
doing the
mess.
masa. Oh my gosh. I gotta go do some dog wrangling here. Hey, make good choices, buddy. Make good
Kiwi's
choices.
growling.
My fault.
We're making tamales.
Well, at least
All right.
he's quiet now. Can we mark his to see his tamale? Yeah, we can put that off to the side if you want. We'll keep mine separate or mark them. That's too much.
Yeah, I think we can.
Because
Let's,
you're right. Because I want to show that mine actually came out better, Aladdin's Girl. Because I've got confidence that this is going to be a good thing.
Where's yours?
That's
That
the
one?
one I've done so far. One.
Well, we'll put an X on his.
Oh no, it should have been a check mark.
Okay, you can put it.
That's very negative.
You can put a green check mark on it. Of course.
that. And then not as much chicken.
Well, it's pork.
Pork.
So there's going to be 0 chicken there.
Is there anything I can help you do without using my left hand?
Without use. Oh, what's wrong with your left hand?
I got boo-boo.
Oh no.
Ow.
I was cutting bread and then I made a very deep cut on my finger.
Oh no.
Yeah, it sucks.
I mean, you can put a Band-Aid on that.
I have. It's
Okay.
over now.
Okay. Well, I'm timed out, so I can't cook for 5 minutes. Robbie has to do everything
Okay,
on
so
his
that
own.
means I'm timed out too.
That's right. Robbie has to do it on his own. Oh, they can't see the top of your head, though.
That's okay. I can just
Let's
be
see.
tall.
That's sad.
I love height disparity between my on-camera talent.
Yeah, Dana, where's your box to stand on?
True!
I mean, Kimona's dad would stand on a box and interview basketball players.
Kelsey's
Having
had to do that, too.
difficulties
Kelsey's
here.
had to do that.
But I'm
I-
just tall enough that I don't have to.
So what
Just.
funny thing about by letting her think it was chicken, you got her to eat pork. I mean, they don't even taste the same. It's kind of weird. But
And yet,
Kelsey, those of you who know Kelsey and stuff probably know Metal Jesus Rocks as well. Here's your check mark.
tied very well.
There we go.
2.
You get to make one more.
I'll get at least 3, if not 4, done by myself. I'll be a good.
Well, you only have a minute left.
I know, but I feel like
You feel like you need to do more. Anyway, so when Kelsey did her first interview with him, and she was like basically the same height, I said, "How tall is he?" And she said, "Oh no, I was standing on a chair."
Not even a box.
Not a box, a chair. I said, that makes much more sense. Makes much more sense. Because Kelsey, if you haven't noticed in here, she's just not very tall.
Just like to point this out. Have you shown them your tube of pepper?
Yeah, they've seen it.
It's pretty crazy. A lot of pepper.
I'm getting faster.
You are getting faster. See, practice makes perfect. Thank you, Aladdin's girl. This is awesome. I'm enjoying my time out here.
I'm sure you are.
Your sister has decided this is part of her budget, is to time me out as often as she can.
She gives you a break.
Mm-hmm.
That's wonderful.
Well, she just likes to.
Perfect. That is beautiful.
I think it's going to come untied, but it's a
Well,
tiny
it's okay.
one.
We've got
isn't
them
it?
marked now, so we'll see.
You're gonna do one more?
Yeah, I'll do one more.
Okay.
Tell me if you've been over this on your stream, but how do you eat a tamale?
Is that gonna be a problem?
Yes. You can, but what you can do is you can take like another piece of one, and you can just cover that up, and do it that way.
Seems like an extra level of a challenge.
Well, you need it.
No, I really don't.
Yes, it's another person. This is my youngest kiddo, Kimona, who was going to come over and have drunken noodles and pho, but then
And
we
then
had
it
ice
got- and then it got
everywhere.
snowed out,
Ice,
yeah.
ice.
And
so
snow.
Spunk TJ saying hello all the way from Germany.
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
I've heard that phrase many times watching speedrunning
Hello.
streams. Greetings from Germany. Yeah. I have a friend Matt in Germany who's one of the coolest people I know. So if there were any country that I moved to that didn't speak English, Germany is easily like the number one I go to.
Yeah.
I love Germany. Yeah.
Well, I
Well,
plan on going at some point to go
thanks
see
for the hello.
Düsseldorf. Yeah, what time is it there, Spunk? TJ?
Midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, something like that.
Like
I thought
6
your
or
name was
7 hours
Robbie.
ahead,
Your name
yeah.
is Spunk TJ too?
Jeez, I won't talk anymore.
1:15 a.m. That is early or late.
Or late.
You know, I'll admit I've been.
Does Kimona know how to make tamales? No.
I don't even know how to eat tamales. Like literally one time I tried to eat a tamale and I was just like, oh yeah, take a bite out of it, right? That's not what you do, right?
You got to put stuff on it, but you can take a bite
But
out of
this
it.
is-
You
Hey,
have to mark it.
This is paper.
No, it's
though.
not.
It's like.
No, you're
Maybe
not
the
supposed to eat
tamales-
that.
Thank
no,
you,
you don't
Aladdin's
eat
girl.
this part.
I'm timing her
See,
back
that's
in
what
now.
I'm saying. Is I said I took a bite of it. I'm saying
All
I
right.
don't know how to eat.
What we should have done is
Tamales.
we should have numbered these 1, 2, 3, 4 to see if he got better as he went along, huh?
I didn't. I'll just say that now.
And you're from Maryland. I lived in Maryland.
Hello.
I'm about to go to Maryland in a couple weeks.
Yeah. Robbie is a pro. Now let's see if we can get. We've got to get these
What is this? Is this pork?
done. That is
Can
pork.
I try the pork?
You may try the pork.
I want to try the pork.
Okay.
It's not chicken like I called it 5 minutes ago.
It is not chicken. That is true.
It does taste like some good shredded taco pork.
You also want to make sure. Hang on 1 second.
They're dirty?
Well, no. So sometimes there's silk on them because it's corn husks. So you just want to make
Oh,
sure.
is that what it is? Mm-hmm. I guess that makes sense.
See how if it were green, it would look like the outside of corn.
Yes. Well, that's why I never connected the dots.
Hey,
There
Taz.
you
Yeah, we
go.
haven't done this in quite a while, so that's why we're a little rusty.
Yeah, because the last time we made these, we were in a class.
Here you go. Now that you're timed back in. I
Okay. You're still going to keep doing that part? Okay.
will- I mean, I guess.
Feel free if you want to.
I'll give
I'll
it
fit
a
on.
try.
Okay.
I'm not sure how well I'll do without being able to use my main finger on my left hand.
So these, to me, need a little bit more,
Now I'm going too thin.
a little too thin because it's not covering the
So what is that you're putting on
filling.
So this is the masa.
there? What is masa?
So masa
Is
is,
that Italian? No, we put the masa on the tamale.
yes, it's Italian. That's why they make them in Mexico.
I was talking about the masa. I'm not talking about the tamale. Just
So-
talking about the masa.
So masa is a corn flour, a type of corn flour. It's what you get corn tortillas are made out of. And it's wet when they make it, and then they dry it, and then they make a flour out of it. Okay. So you can use fresh masa if you go someplace where they have a big gigantic machine where they grind the corn and it's wet.
Okay.
But there we go. And we're being judged. If Juan is still in here, we're being judged by Juan.
Juan is ready to judge us harshly.
I also want to know do Germans
So-
also make fun of Italians? Because it's become a trend to start making fun of Italians. which I'm
We
kinda
don't make
into.
we don't make fun of anybody here.
I mean,
We're all friends.
It's Italians, they can take it.
So Pops, we are not. We're getting a 10 out of 10. Oh, Pops is also judging us. Do you give us a 10 out of 10 or?
For a second, I thought it was 10 out of 10 in terms of making fun of Italians. And I was
So-
like,
I'm approved. So yes, we are not doing dessert tamales tonight. We're just doing savory ones because I want to be in bed by midnight tonight.
Understandable.
And so we'll do those. We'll do those some other time. I don't think I've ever even had a dessert tamale, to be honest. So what kind of flavors do you like for dessert tamales? Those of you that have had them. I know Aladdin's girl said she didn't really like the sweet ones. So if I'm going to be making some, what kind should I get? The children should be assembling. I agree.
I think technically Dana's still a child.
Technically. I don't think I'm technically a child. Maybe I'm technically a pelican.
Nobody gets that.
You do.
I do.
Robbie does.
Kelsey in here lurking,
I meant
she would.
Nobody in the chat.
Kelsey. If Kelsey were in here, she would get. So Kimona used to come up with the strangest phrases when they were little. And sometimes they made sense and sometimes they didn't. So Otis is named after a phrase that Kimona was admonishing their older sister and said, Kelsey was like, whatever. And Kelsey Kimona said, Kelsey, we don't say whatever, but we can say Cleveland. So Otis is an AKC dog, and Otis's middle name is Cleveland. So the dog's middle name is
What does AKC
whatever.
mean? Also Kansas City?
No, it's the Kennel Club, the American Kennel Club. because Otis is we can trace Otis's ancestry back. We know exactly who his mom and dad was and who their mom and dads were and so on and so forth. So purebred.
Do they know that we won Otis in a fantasy football league?
Yeah, we've talked about that before. So one of the things
My
one day.
friends were shocked to hear that, by the way.
I've
They were
heard
like,
it,
"What do
and
you
I still
mean
can't
you
believe
won
it.
a dog in a fantasy football league?" And I was like,
Not only that, but it was the Femme Fatales. It was the girls' team.
Well,
that
yeah,
won.
that's what I was talking about.
Yeah. So, anyway, one night Kelsey and I were having a conversation at dinner.
At PF Chang's.
It wasn't at PF Chang's.
I remember specifically it was at PF Chang's.
It was at a restaurant.
Yes,
that
it was
much
at
we.
PF Chang's.
So we can agree on that part of it. And they said, Kelsey and I were having a conversation, and I think Kelsey said, well, technically, Mom. And I think Kelsey was probably about 8 and you were 4-ish.
We were both a little older than that, but only a little.
You were still calling her Sissy at that point, I think.
I think I did that up until I was like 6 or 7.
Okay. Well, whatever age. And then I said, well, actually, Kelsey, technically, blah, 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 blah. And then not wanting to be left out of the conversation, Kimona's like, well, technically, I'm a pelican.
You know what's funny is that I would do that, I would say that like 18 years later. That is still my sense of humor. People are arguing about something and they're like, well, technically, according to the Encyclopedia Britannica, it is this way. Well, technically, according to the dictionary, it's this way. And I would just go, technically, I'm a pelican.
Yeah,
Just saying.
that's their sense of humor.
Yeah. And it's dated back to since I was like 6 or 7 years old in a PF Chang's.
Okay, so brown sugar in the masa. So how much brown sugar do you put in the masa? Like, what's the kind of ratios for that? And I'm not a big raisin fan, so is there something else other than raisins I can put in the middle? I can just kind of choose like a fruit? I like raisins, but in small amounts.
What about raisins and cookies? What's your take on that?
Oatmeal raisin cookies are okay? You just do it to taste? Okay. So you're not wanting to put a ton in there, right? Pineapple, that's right. You were saying pineapple ones. I would like pineapple.
Is that what? Is it the flavor of raisins that gets you, or is it the texture for you?
I don't mind them. It's just, I guess I was referring to the cookies that you see them and you're like, oh, chocolate chips, yay.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then
that's
you're
disappointing.
very disappointed when you're like, raisins. Not what I was hoping for. But I like them in cereal.
Like Raisin Bran? You like Raisin Bran?
That would be a good one, yeah.
Oh my gosh, we still have that much
in the
left.
name.
Everybody I hear says Raisin Bran is really good.
If you like raisins.
Yeah, and bran.
It kind of has a lot of sugar in it.
Yeah. All the cereals that we grew up with that were so yummy. But
If
you
just-
remember
if
when
just
you were
look at the
growing up,
raisins
right?
And the Raisin Bran, they're like half
Well,
sugar.
yeah, you said as long as sugar is not one of the first 2 ingredients on the cereal box.
That was the cereal they could have. Because it was astonishing to me as I got older how much sugar was in all of the cereals that were part of a balanced diet.
Yes, it's everything else in that picture that's part of the balanced diet.
That's right.
They could
That's
place
not the
anything else in that
cereal.
photo and say that.
I had to fight so hard for Captain Crunch.
I tried to teach you guys some things so you didn't end up with body by butter here.
Yeah, sorry.
Body by butter.
Body by butter.
You know what? I don't blame the cereal as much as I blame the fact that I could go back and get second helpings of anything at any time at my school.
Oh, that's right. Your school.
I overate so bad there. Because I was fine before then. But then I went there and then you know, I was like, oh, chicken nuggets day. Don't mind if I eat 30. And also
It was a
French
great
fries.
school. It actually part of the, they actually supplied lunch for every kid. You didn't have to pay for it. It was just part of
The very expensive.
the very
tuition.
expensive tuition.
I mean, we had it.
But
a
it was
real
good
chef there.
food.
I
Yeah.
still keep up with what Vinny's doing.
The food was good.
I think the
So-
only time
We
I
got him to cook gooey butter cake once. That was awesome. And then
You
we
did.
turned everybody into that school onto gooey butter cake.
Onto gooey butter
because
cake.
nobody would ever eat it. Otherwise, they're like, "What do you mean, the cake that's just butter? I'm not eating that." But then they had it.
It
Then they
sounds
had
delicious.
it, and they were like, "Why have I
See,
never had this
it's a
before?"
little too thin because it's just. Sorry, Kimona.
No,
I'm
it's okay.
So you know more
the
masa.
just a little bit, like, because what's happening is there's like holes in it. So does anybody else? I was watching a YouTube video this week on tamale making, and I saw somebody, and I'd never seen this before. They put baking powder in their masa when they made
Really?
it. Yeah. And I was like, that's weird. I've never seen that before.
Of course, I say that, and I have no idea what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Really? Why would they do that?
I don't know. It was a little weird.
I see a light at the end of the masa tunnel,
Excellent.
as I use way too much on this one.
I'm
Masa
just.
Tunnel sounds like a video game level.
Does it?
To me, it does. Maybe I'm just
We
thinking
could
of
have-
Battletoads, but
Be-
it sounds like one to me.
See, I was thinking it'd be right up there with like Rainbow Road.
Yeah, that could be a Mario Kart level for sure.
Now I'm getting masa everywhere.
We'll just put Rocky on the counter and he'll clean it off for us.
That sounds like a bad idea.
Or
Right.
a genius idea.
All right, so for dessert, we're going to be doing bananas Foster. I know that Robbie loves bananas, so hang in there. We're going to get these steaming, and then what we're going to do is make a cocktail while I kind of start the rice, although I really don't even need to start the rice. Isn't going to take that long to cook. And making the salsa. Do you guys like bananas and banana Foster?
I do.
If you're newer to the channel, you may not have known that we took a road trip at the end of September called Dana's Unchained, Dana's Kitchen Unchained. We did not eat at any chain restaurants, or we did at some regional chains, but no big national chain restaurants.
And even that wasn't until the very end when we had been stuck on the highway for 3 hours.
Right, I think we went to Arby's or something. I think that was the only time we went to, or Dunkin' Donuts one morning when we needed a bathroom.
Yeah.
But those are the only times we went on in 2 weeks. We only went to 2 national chains. But one of the things we picked up on there is we did moonshine tasting in Nashville. Was that Nashville? Yeah, that was in
Yeah,
Nashville.
that was Nashville.
And brought a bunch home. So I have this, Robbie picked out banana pudding moonshine because he likes banana pudding, and it's been sitting in there, and I decided I couldn't find plantains today. The store was completely 100% out of plantains. So I couldn't do the fried plantains, so I decided we were going to be doing bananas Foster and using, instead of banana liquor and rum for the liquor base of that, the flambe, we're going to use this moonshine. And hopefully it's not higher alcohol level than the others.
No, I'm sure it's not. The other one that's still left is the like 152
The blue.
or
No, we also had the blue one left too, the blue raspberry.
Oh, there's 3 left.
Yeah. And I've got the salted caramel whiskey left too.
Because the very flammable one's the one that's not allowed on a plane, and she made sure to ask us before we bought it. You're not traveling by,
by
plane,
plane,
right?
'cause
You won't
you-
be able to take it with you.
They'll confiscate this because they're afraid it's too flammable to take on a plane. Good. Then let's drink it.
Yep. Let's drink the very flammable liquid. That's a great idea.
I tried to make some like drunken cherries with it, and all it tasted like was jet fuel. It was
It really
terrible.
did.
It was terrible. Moonshine.
You know,
Moonshine.
have I told you that I'm taking an alcohol class
No.
semester?
No.
That is what survey of beverages has ended up being.
Really?
Yeah. I thought it would just be like, learning history of drinks and stuff, right? And maybe it wouldn't be specifically alcohol, but it is specifically alcohol. And we're starting off with wine. And last Tuesday, we did wine tasting, which we're going to do again at some point.
Ooh.
That sounds great to you, right?
Yeah.
Sucks for me. I hate wine.
Can you believe that? Are you guys hearing this?
I don't like wine. I don't
No,
like
no, no, no,
alcohol
no.
in
I'm
general.
just saying that there's a class in college that is called Surveying Beverages, but it's really about tasting
No, it's not necessarily just about tasting it.
or
but-
learning about alcohol.
Yeah, so it's interesting actually because I think that it does actually it would count as part of like getting your
Hospitality degree.
hospitality
Yeah.
or like bartending license or whatever you need.
Spunk TJ's asking if you like beer. The Germans love beer.
Oh, yes, I do love beer. I find now, though, I used to drink a lot of beer. My grandfather actually, when he came to the United States, he started working for Anheuser-Busch because his uncle was here, and his great uncle, and his uncle was working at Anheuser-Busch. And so he did some work there. So I grew up, and then my dad worked for Anheuser-Busch. So beer's been a big part of my life. And yes, I know, it's not as good or flavorful as a lot of the other beers out there, but yeah,
It is a part of life.
it is a part of life. So I do like beer. The gluten problem that I have keeps me from being able to have a lot of it anymore. So it used to be my go-to if I was going to be out all night, I would drink beer because it was a lower alcohol content than having cocktails.
So you
But-
could drink more.
Well, if I was out, it was easier to pace with a beer.
That's true. That's true.
But yes, but now I have to be careful because I feel terrible the next day. So he's not, because he wasn't into wine that much. No, doesn't like beer either. Likes things cooked in beer, but you don't really like beer either.
The thing is that I just haven't had much alcohol, but
Yeah, you're
pretty
just,
much all of the alcohol I've ever had I haven't liked. Like if I can taste the alcohol, I'm not a fan.
but you did like the sangria that I made when we were down in Houston.
The
What's
sangria
got
was
fruit
pretty
in it?
good.
And
It's
that
got
is
fruit in it.
wine, and that's wine,
Yeah.
but wine with
I had
fruit.
sangria when I was in Vegas and I did not like it.
Oh.
This probably
There's-
So
isn't
maybe
very
it's
good.
your sangria that I only like.
So sangria, could you? Sangria is one of those things that can be really good. Everybody's got different recipes for it, and so you can have that.
Good.
Look, we're at the bottom. Yes. So
I know that like every wine is different in some ways.
says. So Spike TJ says they like Ulsterwasser or Radler, which is beer with Sprite in the summertime.
That sounds like I would give it a try.
Yes. Thank you, Ulster. Thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, there's one more. Okay.
Would you like to know the wines that I tasted on this?
Yes. What were the wines you tasted while I finished this last one?
So, forgive me if I mispronounce any of these to any French folks. I think these are all French wines. The first that we tried was a Chardonnay called La Hall de Mille Bourgogne. Bourgogne.
Can I see?
La Hause de Mille Bourgogne, I think. Bourgogne?
Bourgogne.
Bourgogne.
Yeah.
So it was,
Bourgogne. No, it's Bourgogne. I don't know.
yeah, no. Anyway, it was a Chardonnay.
It was Chardonnay. Okay.
So I tried that, and they were like, oh, like they give us like this guide to like talk about like the flavors and the aroma and the visuals of it and all. And I was sitting there, they was going like, so what do you taste? What do you smell? And it was taking everything in me not to raise my hand and go. It smells like laundry detergent from the 1920s. It tastes like sour dirt.
It probably had a little sour.
dirt.
Probably
Yeah,
has a
it-
little bit of a sour
I
tinge
did
to
not
it.
enjoy it, but apparently it had flavors of lime and grapefruit in it.
That's the sour you were probably tasting, actually.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
then the dirt was the alcohol.
Okay, so we're taking all of these. We're going to put this in here, and I'm going to get this steaming on here. And maybe you guys will get to see them tonight. All right, they're all in there, including Robbie's.
You mean the best one?
Okay, the best ones, yes. Yes, honey, the best ones. So when I first, because these are still a little high for this, what I did earlier today, watch out, buddy. Woo, it's an obstacle course in here, is I just put a weight on here, and then I can take this off once the corn husks soften up a little bit. But there you go, we got done making the tamales. And Robbie's over there cleaning dishes instead of making cocktails.
Priorities.
The washing of the dishes is a bigger priority than making of the margaritas? Okay.
I won't have the energy to do it after I have a drink.
Okay. Fair enough. All right. Rocky still believes he'll catch something. He does. He does. It's actually getting pretty close to his bedtime, so he'll probably start hiding under the table soon.
He got something last stream.
He got something last stream?
Yeah, he got a bag off the counter with
Oh, that's right. That's right. Well, he stole your chocolate chip cookie the other day.
Yeah.
You got that too. I know. So we didn't want to be here. I didn't have enough people really to be doing the whole tamale thing. So I get it. I know that it's worth it to get people together, say, hey, we're going to have beer and margaritas. And then you trick them. They come over and you go, now this is what you're going to be doing while you're drinking your beer and your margarita. Isn't that the way you get people involved? Because I don't have any small children anymore to use as slave labor.
I'm sorry, why do I have my headphones on? What was that?
You'll never do this by yourself. If you got a whole day, it's kind of, I did the first batch, I did all by myself because somebody was sleeping. I know. Well, I think that's what Juan was saying, is that Juan was like, I've been eating these for 3 months now. No more tamales. So we may freeze some of these as well. You're exhausted just by watching. We haven't even finished yet. We're going to be making a guacamole. We're going to make a salsa. We're going to make some rice and some bananas Foster. But first, a margarita, because this has got to go for 90 minutes. So, hey Google, set alarm for 85 minutes.
All right, your alarm set for 8:06 p.m.
And that will be one of the longest streams in a while. Yes. So you do not want to cut the cook time short on these, or the masa will not cook. And technically, I was trying to show Robbie this, we'll pull one out at that time, but you really, in order to get this nice, hard, not hard, it's still very soft and pliable, but so that it all comes together, you need to let it sit for like an hour after it cooks. So, anyways, you're good for like 10 months. So, but if Robbie's hungry, I'll actually feed him. Are you hungry?
Beverage time?
Huh?
Beverage
time. Let's do beverage time. I need to put my tamale back together here. And we'll get those heated up in a little bit to eat after we get some salsas. But I think these are gonna be yummy. So it's a margarita time. So Robbie pulled up a recipe online, and I was like, that sounds like the Kool-Aid of margaritas, because it called for...
It's not this recipe.
It's not this one. This one actually we kind of made up. But
From about the 20 or so I was looking at.
it had the tequila, and then it had Rose's lime juice, and it had curacao and triple sec. And then it was like, and then squeeze a couple of limes in there, or squeeze a couple of lime wedges in there. And I'm like, that sounds like disgustingly sweet. So this one, we'll let Robbie do the drink recipe for this one. Because here in Texas, if you do not have a good margarita on your list and you are a Tex-Mex or Mexican food restaurant, you probably won't make it.
Or at least she won't be back.
I won't be back.
All right.
Well, neither will you.
Well, yeah, because I'd be driving you wherever. And I'm not going to drop you off somewhere and then go back to the bad place. That'd be really weird.
You didn't want to stop at that place called Tamales again?
Oh, the Country Time lemonade margaritas that were terrible?
We were on the road and heading to Arkansas, and we were really hungry, and we saw, like, there weren't very many restaurants. We were kind of out in the middle of nowhere, and so
It
there's
just
this
started
little restaurant.
raining
And the food was fine at the place, but they said they had margaritas, and it tasted like Country Time lemonade. And I said, I think they just waved the tequila
They were really
over
really
this
bad.
drink. Like, you couldn't even taste the tequila. It was not good. And my thing is I know not everybody likes tequila, but if you're having a margarita, you have to be able to taste the tequila.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's part of what gives it the good flavor.
I know.
And if you just need to maybe use a better tequila if you don't like it.
Maybe.
Don't
The
wanna
better
go too cheap.
tequilas are a little smoother. I once was I was at a Mexican restaurant doing a catering order, and got that all set out, and the woman said, why don't you just sit at the bar while I go price all of this out and get this taken care of. And then the bartender was like, how about if you try some tequilas? And had a little shot glass and was giving me like the really expensive tequilas, you know, that like were on the menu, like, oh, you want a shot of that tequila? It's like $25 or $35. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I went home, I took a nap. Patron's one of the best. So Robbie doesn't like mezcal because it's too smoky.
Very limited quantities for me.
Right. Did you know that I used mezcal when I cooked my turkey for Thanksgiving this year to give it a really good smoky flavor? I used mezcal and maple syrup and something else. I'd have to go back and look at the recipe, but that was really good. It made a
Glasses
really
are we
nice
using?
skin. You are the bartender. You are asking me, the drinker, what glass I need? So, he doesn't know. You want the blue ones, they're down there. Or you can use the...
Really? Because I don't see them down there. Oh, they're behind the thing. They're hiding.
If you want one where you can see the actual margarita, the ones next to it, you can use those. The old-fashioned glasses. Or you can use these. So I have... Do you remember... Here, I'm going to try and not knock anything over here. I have these margarita glasses that I've had for... I don't know how many years.
And they're huge.
They don't hold any more than these.
I
No.
thought they did.
But is this the most ridiculous glass to try and drink a drink out of? This is martini glasses. You do IT support for a wine and spirit company. Fridge tequila and hard liquor you can drink while you're at the office.
What? It's like Mad Men.
It is like it.
We might be watching that
Ooh,
right now.
sweet cream cheese empanadas. I want to make empanadas some night on the stream. I'm not very good at it.
Man, that's...
A good day for
I
Uber.
need to get back into IT. That sounds amazing. If I had known there'd be alcohol possibly involved at the office. Well,
All
cheers.
right.
We'll see
Cheers.
how I did here.
Okay. See if we need to adjust it. What do you think? Do you think it needs a little more of the blood orange liquor?
More. I mean, there's 3 shots of alcohol in this drink.
I'm just saying if you wanted it a little sweeter.
Get paid to drink just to IT support?
Yeah. You have
that does
some
sound
lemon
good.
drops and vodka soaking. Yeah, that's good. You can do
actually
that
not
with
bad.
like Jolly Ranchers and make flavored, colorful vodkas out of them. Pineapple empanada. See, so again, I'm not very good at making them yet, and that's just because I've only done it a couple of times. Are you making another one?
I'm just topping us off because
Oh.
that didn't make as much as I thought it was going to.
I just want to throw out here too, when you're doing tamales, because they need to be steaming, you need to check them every once in a while and make sure there's still enough water in the bottom of the pot, because otherwise you'll ruin all of that hard work that you've done, and you'll ruin your pot. So obviously I don't need to do that yet, but I probably this morning when I was doing tamales, probably put water back in about twice during that time. Yeah, you know what? I do like lemon drops martinis, as long as they're not too terribly sweet, because sometimes those things get too sweet. I'm a martini girl. I really like martinis. I just really can't have more than one anymore. Well, it was a good night to watch tamales, because it sounds like you got lots of good, yummy desserts today, Aladdin's girl. So they do have to be tart, and that's why we cut down. We made our own recipe with just I don't know, a lot less of the sweet liqueurs in it, and taking that Rose's lime juice out. Just like I don't like, I'm gonna blank on the name because I always do and I really like them.
Me?
What was your name? All right, I'm gonna start slicing some stuff up and make some salsa.
Look, I haven't remembered to clean up this time.
You did, good job, sweetie. All right, where is my cutting board? Let's make some salsa. So I'm gonna make the salsa from when we did tamales at Central Market. The chef there, her name is Deborah Stoltz, and she is hilarious. She liked to give Robbie trouble, so now she's my best friend.
She sure did. I had no idea that a clean plate was so important when it looked like everyone wanted me to hurry up and give them the food because it was the end of like a 2-hour cooking class and we were starving.
Aren't you guys starving?
And you would have thought that it was just not going to taste good if it was on a dirty plate.
So this is going to be a pretty simple salsa. I prefer, if I have time, especially if it's all stuff is in season, I like to roast all my vegetables. But we're not going to do that tonight, even though we probably have time. So obviously, if we're doing a tomato salsa, we're going to start with, tomatoes. What did I do with the other bowl? I think you took it. Because that's what Robbie does. And I don't really like to have the seeds in there. I like to just have the red part of the tomatoes. So I take my time with it a little bit. Okay, salsas. What are some of your favorite salsas when you are eating Mexican or Tex-Mex kind of food? Or are you like, I don't like salsa, Dana? I like a good pico de gallo. My favorite salsa from a restaurant is one here where he definitely roasts all of the vegetables and then he blends it pretty good. So it's not super chunky. It's got a little bit to it. You don't like puree salsa, it has to be chunky. Ooh, avocado salsa, yes.
I think I prefer it somewhere in the middle. Not way too chunky, but also, yeah, not watery.
Yeah, if it gets too chunky, to me, it's more like a pico, and I do like pico. But I think that there's different purposes for them. Like if I'm doing a taco, I'm probably not putting salsa on it. I'm probably putting pico, guacamole. So I know Juan is living the good life, isn't he? Don't you want that job? Now you want to ask him, where are you working? I'll learn IT.
I'll even work from home and supply my own alcohol. That's fine.
My dad, like I said before, worked at Anheuser-Busch. And back in the day, the fridge at Anheuser-Busch was stocked with beer for lunchtime, which seems... My dad was a executive, but it was the same lunchroom for the guys who worked on the line, so that seems... My knife is not wanting to cooperate with me right now.
I might be writing down places to look for jobs tomorrow.
Okay, so you can see how chunky my salsa is going to be. It's not going to be super chunky, but it's not going to be pureed at all.
Yeah, that does take up a lot of time.
88 spirits. Did you write that down, Robbie?
I did.
IT support by day, OGS, yeah. I had to be really careful about that one because I, still have to work and make money, but I love to be here and cook on the stream. And so I had to make sure I wasn't working too many days on the other job of therapy, right? So sometimes my clients are like, how about Thursday night? Nope. Monday nights are my night off. I don't stream. That's my night to go.
Yeah, zero work-home balance would not be fun.
Yes, yeah. I had to work really hard at it, Juan. I really did. I mean, right before I started streaming, or right as I started streaming, I had just ended my semester at school. So I was working, going to school, and then started streaming. And I finally had to, in the fall, just go, I have to not let my clients decide when is best for them and say, if you can't make these times, let me help you find a different therapist. Because it's tough, man. And I had to do what I preach to my clients too, Oh yeah, by the way, I do have Discord, I have social media. I didn't post today on Discord what we were doing tonight. I always post that on my social media pages. But in the Discord, I'd love to have your ideas for what you would like to, what you'd like to make.
Yeah, I could have sworn you were already in there.
Were you not? Oh my gosh.
It's a problem that has now been fixed.
Awesome. You still need to learn. You'll learn someday. Hopefully. Okay. I think that's going to be enough tomatoes. So this is a really simple salsa. This one's just going to have tomatoes. It's going to have some Texas sweet onions, a jalapeno, some cilantro. It's almost more of a pico to me, but this is what Deborah is calling her chunky salsa. I would actually call it a pico, but she gets to call it whatever she wants because she is a chef and I am just a home cook. And that's the way it goes. I wanted to share with Robbie the bottle pics if you guys find them. Yeah. Post pictures. You can also see how crazy Rocky is on there.
Boy, he was living his best life the other night in the pet section. Laying down by the fire.
Yeah, I said it kind of looks like a porn shot.
Or the, was it from the 90s? The I'm Too Sexy song?
Yes, I am.
Dana started singing that as I'm taking pictures of Rocky.
Because
It
he's
was
like
really
by the
disturbing.
fire doing this. Lying down.
General chat's fine.
What were you cutting onion the other day when it was your turn to cook? Or was it a shallot?
It was a shallot.
It was
or
a shallot.
shallots, yeah.
So make sure that your fingers are like that when you're cutting, because your fingers are kind of flat, which is a good way
Is that why
to
I had
chop
this little
them.
nick?
Probably. All right. We get some onion in there.
Empanadas.
I know.
Oh,
Oh, it is a good
Popsicles
time
cheered.
to practice.
X500. Good time to practice.
Oh, good. It's the jalapeno.
I mean, thank you, Pops. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pops, because I always end up sticking my finger in my eye when I'm cutting jalapenos. I don't know why.
So I shouldn't do that?
Don't do that. Absolutely not. So you gotta.
What am I doing?
So you're gonna chop and seed that.
Chop.
Yeah.
So slices?
Seeded and diced. I would take the stem off first.
So cut off the top?
Yep.
Done.
I'm timed out.
Yeah.
Now cut
No,
it in
I would
half?
do it in half. Thank you, Pops. Thank you so much.
Okay, cut in half, done.
And you gotta take the seeds and everything out, and you can put them in your little garbage bowl there.
Do that with the knife?
This could be hard to do with the knife.
So
But you do it
hands.
however. I usually do it with my
Oh,
hands.
see, now I'm seeing where that's going to be problems.
Yeah, is this your drink or my drink?
This is yours.
I'm gonna
I have
take
moved
that.
mine to a safe location where you can't touch it.
Can I take it?
Yep.
Get all these spicy seeds out of here. And when I'm done, I'm going to wash my hands like 10 times.
I do that too.
good?
Yep, that looks good. See, he's gonna have to pay more attention to what I'm doing now.
Well, no, that's the
Which is
problem. It's like, oh
awesome.
no.
He'll be like, what do you mean dice this? How do I do that?
I'm also going to start paying more attention to worst cooks. So I don't make their mistakes.
Alana's girl's reminding you that the stem is not edible. That's why you needed to cut it off.
Oh, I thought I didn't cut enough off.
Nope. Nope. My poor youngest kiddo is waiting for food.
Well,
Are you staying tonight or are you going back home?
I'm gonna go back home.
Okay.
Unless these are done at like 10.
So this will go in the trash bowl then.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, unless you want to chew on it.
So now what?
Yeah, dice that.
Oh, there's seeds on there. Let's get rid of those.
I'll probably come back on Thursday, by the way, since I had
Okay.
to schedule my haircut last Thursday.
Okay. Are you going to Lisa?
Yep.
Okay.
So you want them in little cubes?
You got to do them in strips. Yeah.
Oh, I don't have my fingers tucked in.
Keep going.
She's making noises. She's being very judgy over there.
I'm not
Okay,
judging.
okay, now? Is that small enough?
I would do smaller.
Smaller. We'll just do it so thin you can't see it.
That's the best way to do it, because then you get a little bit in every bite instead of a big chunk every bite. Every once in a while.
Wow, Rocky, you're still awake?
I know.
Ah! No sudden noises, please.
I mean, he's behaving for the moment.
There, is that small enough?
I think so.
Do I need a bowl for these?
You need to put them in the bowl that the
Oh,
salsa's being made in.
that bowl right there.
Uh-huh, that one.
guess I'll actually use the bench scraper.
Fingers are not yummy. This is true. This is true.
It's a very good tip, Aladdin's girl.
Yep.
Did your power stay on the whole time, by the way? Mm-hmm. Me too. Turns out there was not a lot to worry about.
No, there wasn't. If you want to, you can heat a couple of these up in the microwave, but you might want to wait till we get the salt. Do you like guacamole? I can't remember.
I'm fine with it. It doesn't tip the scale either way for me.
You want salsa or something on them, usually? Hey, your chopping skills are getting pretty good.
Well, I watch the best twice a week. So.
Mine aren't getting any better.
Probably can't see that, but
No, because
Yeah.
it's really it's not big, but it's deep.
you gotta tuck those fingers in like that when you're chopping.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay,
Now
what's
we
next?
need cilantro.
I'll let you figure out what that is and hand it to me.
It's right in front of you.
Oh, it's this whole thing? Mm-hmm. This is
Well,
a lot.
you don't need all of it. You need a couple tablespoons.
So like this chunk?
Well, that's a lot more than 2 tablespoons. As a reminder,
Am I pulling off the leaves?
I would pull the leaves off, yes. So this is a tablespoon. You need about 2 of those. You want to chop that up small. Do you guys like cilantro, or do I have any people who cilantro tastes like soap to you?
I don't think it tastes like soap to me, but maybe I like soap.
Doubtful.
Is this not the way to
No
do it?
soap taste there. So you don't like it? Oh, you're team soap.
Oh, that's too bad. Sorry about that.
It's an actual genetic thing that for some people, cilantro has a different flavor to it than for the rest of it.
More than
Alpha
that?
Pest says soap. Aladdin's girl loves cilantro.
More?
You're gonna need more than that. I know, isn't that weird? Because I just thought people were being difficult, and then I learned about this genetic, that some people have that they have a gene that makes it taste like soap. I know, you can't even have something that's delicious. Look at this. Look what he is doing to my cilantro here. Instead
I
of
thought
pulling,
I was supposed to take off the leaves.
but you're not going.
I heard take off the leaves. I'm just following instructions.
So now look at my group. My cilantro is missing all its leaves from the top, but there's all these leaves at the bottom because we just took them from the top.
You're welcome. Happy to help.
Okay.
Do I need more?
Nah, that's probably
That's enough?
Yeah.
Are you sure? I can ruin some more. Hang on. Give me a second.
Lavender tastes like soap to you? Well, I mean, I think of lavender, I don't really think it has a very strong taste, but the smell of it, for me, if the smell is too much in something.
Am I just destroying this?
So have you not watched me chop herbs at all?
I mean,
Okay. Well, he's going to do it this way.
well, you do it, you like pile it up and you almost cut your fingers half the time and
No, I don't. I really don't.
just, no. just like this.
You know, Aladdin's girl, I will use the stems if I'm cooking it into something, but in the salsas, I don't like having the texture of the stems, and that's why I had him take it off of the stems. But if I'm cooking it into something where they'll soften up a little bit, then usually, so sometimes I say that, but sometimes I may do things differently.
So what do you think? How's it looking?
That looks good.
So is that also going in the bowl in front of me?
That is going in the bowl in front of you. You are making the salsa.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, we've got lime juice in here. All right, now you're gonna mix all that up, and you are going to add. This is the tasting part.
Tasting part.
Yes, you are gonna add lime juice and salt and pepper to make it taste yummy.
Sounds like a lot of pressure to make it taste good.
And salt. I will get the salt for you.
Ah, blender, that would help. That sounds way faster.
A blender?
Lavender sugar cookies?
Oh, so, and that's it. So we're doing a chunky one. Like, you're right. If you're putting it in the blender, you're going to pulverize it and it'll be fine, but we're not doing it that way.
So this?
Yes, do you want a spoon so you can mix everything up? So
The
you
steam's
can
hot.
taste.
Just in case you guys didn't know, that's hot.
Here, let me,
So like 2 cracks, 3 cracks?
you figure it out.
There we go, there's plenty. And then we'll use a Robbie pinch of salt. Check this out.
I mean, I'm sure that'll be better for my blood pressure with that much salt, but
Yeah, shockingly, I don't have high blood pressure because I barely use salt, if ever. And then just like a dash of this is lime or lemon?
what does it say?
Lime. Just a dash of this.
You got to taste it. You can always add more. You can't take it out if you put too much in.
And we'll do a little bit for now. And she gave me a spoon to mix this up with.
This is like Worst Cooks where I can't taste your food.
We would do great on that show. And by great, I mean I would ride your coattails.
Well, I don't think I
then
would
claim victory.
qualify for Worst Cooks.
Don't worry, I'll bring the team down enough to where you'll still qualify.
It's not really a team effort. So Pop's Cockles, I do like lavender, but just like a little bit of it, because otherwise I'm kind of like Aladdin's Girl. If it's too florally, like rose and lavender and those kinds of things, it starts to not taste good to me.
Well, this smells really good.
This does? Mm-hmm. You gonna taste it?
It's missing something.
Is it salt?
Probably.
I'm not a fan of Turkish Delight. I saw a meme earlier that says, there's nothing like the disappointment after reading The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, like trying Turkish Delight afterwards.
I wouldn't know.
So what do you like about Turkish Delight? I don't know. I think, you know, my grandmother grew roses. I love the smell of roses. My grandmother used to get rose bushes, like different kinds of rose bushes all the time. Always had fresh roses in the house. I just don't like, too many people are too heavy-handed with rose flavors and lavender flavors for me. Is that better? Does it need more acid?
I think that's pretty good. Might need a little bit more. What do you think? I think we're past 5 minutes. It's safe for you to taste and take over.
Yeah, I think it needs a little more lime juice too.
Really?
Just a little bit, not a lot. I'm also gonna be bad and put a little fat in this.
What are you doing?
I know! What am I doing? Now stir it.
And then I'm done
And then you're done.
for the half hour at least.
Thank you, Pops, for giving Robbie some practice on his chopping skills over here.
Thank you, Pops.
I appreciate it. All right, how about some guacamole? You got some guacamole? I got stuff all over the place. This place is a mess. I'm also gonna make some rice
puppy.
to eat with our tamales. So I thought I had white rice and I didn't. It was totally worth it. Fries.
It's funny.
Chocolate.
Everyone keeps saying that.
I know, so much fun. So I have brown rice, so we're gonna just make do with brown rice as part of our meal. Today, has anybody else had this problem? Today I kind of freaked out a little bit because I was trying to, my pots and pans are in drawers and I could not open the drawer, like one of the handles got stuck. But I didn't wake you up. I handled it myself. So this is gonna make a lot of rice. I think this, wait a minute, this may have chicken stock in it. This is also Deborah's Super, super simple. Oops. I guess because she's doing it for a cooking class, she doesn't really make things complicated. So it's also a very simple way to... No guac for you. That is fine. I think avocados are food of the gods. So we're going to be doing some of that in a second. But let me go ahead and get some rice started here. Hey Google, show me the timer.
It looks like you don't have any timer set at the moment.
Did I not set a timer?
No, you did, because it was going to be at like 8:07 or something.
All right. I'm still seeing steam, so there's still water in there. So her rice is yep, onions. So we've got an onion here. We'll use the other part of the onion, and I think it has chicken stock. So we'll dump the water for the chicken stock, and we're also going to use some crushed tomatoes as well in there. I don't know how authentic this is, but it is good. It's a pretty simple one. So let's chop up some onion and some garlic, because garlic makes everything better.
And it keeps you safe from vampires.
I mean, that's the more important part, right? So we'll just use the other half of this onion. It's calling for a small onion. I think this half is probably close enough. Robbie does need practice with onions at some point. He's timed out for, I mean, like, we don't want to make him cook all the time. We do want to eat before
10.
midnight. And then let me go get some garlic. And meanwhile, oops, that didn't chop very well. Neither did that.
Is it time to sharpen the knives again?
No, I just didn't cut it right down the side, and so it didn't catch all of it. And then let's do some garlic.
The drink is actually really good. It's super smooth.
I like it. Well, it's a good tequila, first of all.
True.
I'm gonna let that heat up a little bit. I say a little bit, a lot. Why do I minimize things
Instead of
so
a lot of
much?
it.
Instead of saying, let's heat this oil up.
Also, you did not. I have not had to go for the fire extinguisher
Not
quite
yet, not yet.
'Cause that's how I'm remembering that hasn't happened yet.
So what I want to do is I want to get the rice started, which will just be here a couple of minutes here, and then get the guac made, which will only take a couple of minutes as well, and then we'll do the flambeing, which I know what you are all waiting for, right? Will Dana set the house on fire? Will
Cheryl
the
and
fire
another camera.
extinguisher work? What? I'm sorry, I interrupted you. What?
I got nothing.
You, okay. You were saying something. You don't remember what you were saying? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Hey, I was able to find some decent garlic the other day at the store. That was good.
Elser, did you used to, or do you still kind of?
What kinds of things did you do as a kid with fire? I always thought it was weird. So I was a Girl Scout leader, and one of the things that it was here in Texas that in order to, there were different levels of training. You take the fifth. And I thought it was really strange because had been a Girl Scout leader in Michigan, and each of the different kind of councils is a little bit different in how they handle the training. And so to go camping, there were the different levels of training, and one of the levels was they put roasting marshmallows on the second level of camping, which seems like a basic thing. And it's because when you roast marshmallows, it is like burning sugar and you can burn yourself. I don't know what brought that up. I think because we were talking about flambeing things. So if you like have a marshmallow on a stick and you fling it and it hits somebody, you can get 3rd-degree burns.
So let's not do that.
So not do that. Okay, I'm going to put these in here.
So noisy.
I think that we probably could have even used a shallot for this. And boy, those cuts on those onions are terrible. Feel free to judge me, but I already know they're terrible. You can't even really see that, can you? A little bit. So, you're waving?
I was in the shot.
Oh, you were in the shot. Oh. Yeah, we can say, look, there's Robbie. That's where he usually is. It's right over there. You get to kind of see the behind the scenes. We're gonna add, this is gonna make a lot of rice, people. We're gonna add 2 cups of rice because I can smell the garlic and the onion now, and that's all we want. Whoops, that's 1.
That was more than 1.
Oh, this will be a little less than 1. How's that? Oh, I already had a spoon. Now I've got 2. Rice, lots of rice. And with brown rice, you usually want a little bit more liquid in it. So whatever this recipe calls for, I'm gonna have to add a little bit more. Well, it's 2.5 cups. That actually should be enough. But I don't know if I have enough chicken stock. If you can make your rice with some sort of stock, it'll help give it a little more flavor. But that is all the chicken stock. So the rest will be water and crushed tomatoes. So let's put some water in there. And I kind of like, do you guys like brown rice? I kind of like the chewiness of brown rice. And then add the tomatoes in the broth.
I don't mind it. I wouldn't want to have it all the time.
I mean, there's sometimes a nice white rice, fluffy or sticky white rice is good. Just depends. All right. What? What?
Fallen Age likes mixed rice.
Oh. I think it would be tough to do white and brown rice at the same time because they kind of cook a little differently. So we want 2 cups of this.
It also says Indian takeaway rice.
Which I believe is typically a white basmati rice or jasmine rice. All right, I'm gonna get this to a boil, then I'm gonna put the lid on and let it simmer. Make sure I have the right burner. Because another thing Dana likes to do is turn the wrong burner off or the wrong one up or whatever. I'm gonna put the rice away. I'm also in socks today, so see, I can do these cool things like slide across the floor. I kind of missed the frame. Hang on. Woo! That was clumsy. I'm not as good at that. 3 cups water, put in a Korean rice cooker. Okay. I trust you. I trust you on that. Let's make some guacamole. And then we'll start working on dessert, which will be dinner. But make sure I'm checking my rice because we want it to boil, but then we want to turn it down to simmer and cook. All right, oops. Throwing recipes on the floor. By the way, guys, I think I'm gonna do a charity stream on the night that we do burgers, which is on the 20th. We're doing Gouda stuffed burgers. I haven't decided what charity yet. I may do St. Jude's because I've been working with a team that raises money for Starlight and St. Jude, so we may do one of those if you want to join us on the 20th. I haven't decided what cool stuff is going to happen yet because I only decided I wanted to do a
You mean
charity
like
stream.
incentive-wise?
Yes. Like, what are we going to make Robbie do?
Or we could just have Dana get pied in the face.
There's that.
Why does it always have to be me that suffers?
It doesn't. If they would prefer that, we can certainly do that. Sure. Look at this. This pit fell right out of that avocado. I didn't have to chunk it out. So this may not look very pretty, but it is ripe okay. So we're going to use it for our guacamole. There's still some good stuff in this one over here. Get that out. Do you think we're going to need more than one avocado? Do you think we're going to need more than one avocado? He doesn't know. We'll do two. So, when you are storing your avocado or guacamole, you can use the pit to help keep it from turning too brown. The other thing you can do is put plastic wrap on the top and flatten it out and put it on because it's turning brown because of the air. This one's gonna be not as fun. Okay. What?
I just touched my eye. And I hadn't washed my hands yet. It burns!
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, it burns!
At least now I know I'll get empathy.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it hurts. So pro tip of the day, Robbie. When you chop peppers, always wash your hands and don't touch your eyes.
Ow!
Yeah. So not good.
That is quite unpleasant.
I've tried to tell you that. All right, we're gonna put some jalapeno in our guacamole. Except I may not, oh, I do have one left, okay. So we're gonna have a little bit of a spicy guacamole, and then we're gonna see if Dana can not put her fingers in her eyes. I like to do this under the water, because then I remembered more often to wash my hands.
I feel like we need an eye wash station like in the chemistry lab.
I mean, if you would like to put one in the kitchen, feel free. I think my problem is I use my fingernails sometimes to pull the stuff out of there, and then I think it gets underneath my nails. Oh, Rocky. Rocky, Rocky, Rocky. Oh my gosh. This pepper's very, very strong already.
Yeah, you really don't want to touch your eyeball then. I do not recommend.
I may only use half of this because it's really pretty strong. Can you hear it? Like it's affecting my throat. It's so strong. Have you ever cut a pepper and like breathed it in and you're like, ah? It's probably not as bad or spicy as the Indian food that Elsa eats. Because Indian food, when it's authentic and when it's cooked authentically at the spice levels, that is killer. I'm trying to make these very, very small. So another quicker way, by the way, that you can do your guacamole, like I'm chopping this up and you know what I'm thinking I'm actually going to do? I think I'm actually just going to take some of this and put it in here because it has all the same things and we're not going to need all that salsa. So now I've got all this chopped jalapeno. Let's just put that in a little container and leave it for later. I could have avoided touching a jalapeno, but I didn't. You can't handle spicy. I can only handle spicy to a degree. That's a quick way to make your guacamole. So if you're making a pico and you want to add a little something to your guacamole, we've got a chunky salsa. You can just add it that way. See, if I'd only remembered that. Now it might need a little more salt and lime in it. This is very chunky because I just was throwing avocado in there and not chopping it up. Usually I chop it up into pieces because I like a chunky guacamole. I don't like the emulsified guacamole. What about you guys that like guacamole? If you don't like guacamole, you don't have to. Yes, don't play with your nose when cutting jalapenos. That would also be bad.
That also sounds quite
That
painful.
would be very, very, very bad. See, that's a pretty guacamole right there. Let me see what it needs. Spice level is actually good. I also don't like it. A lot of places, a lot of places over lime their guacamole.
It gets too acidic.
Yeah.
Or they just mash it way too much, and it's not.
And it doesn't have chunks
Yeah, it's
anymore.
not even chunky anymore.
So hopefully I didn't put too much lime in there. I don't think that's good. Actually, I think it needs a tiny bit more salt. All right, now we'll let that sit.
Making guacamole is one of the few things that I have confidence in,
You do a good job with it.
which is, of course, why that's not what I got to work on today.
Exactly. But you know what? All of those things were things that went into this guacamole. Do you remember when we took the class and she was like, just take some of this salsa and put it in your guacamole? Hello, Rachel.
Yeah, I don't need my guacamole to be spicy.
You love all unspicy guacamole. So this is not very spicy. It's just got a little bit of, just a touch of heat in it. But typically guacamole is one of those things that is meant to help cool your palate down from the spiciness of the foods. All right, lime juice is gonna go in here for now. I'm gonna clean this up a little. I'm gonna turn this cutting board over because we're gonna cut some bananas here in a minute. All right, I've never made bananas Foster's before. Bananas Foster before. Any of you guys ever done that? Oh, see, you're supposed to remind me. Turn this down, Dana. Put a lid on it before we lose all that lovely liquid. This is still steaming. It's gonna be tough to flambe with all of these being used. Let's see, let's move this over here. We'll turn that on. And I'll turn this off for now because I gotta find a pan to do it in. So what did you just eat and nothing? Do you know what you mean?
She's trying to sub.
Oh, she's trying to sub.
And
We appreciate your effort.
Long-range tech support without being able to see a screen or anything is tough.
It is very tough.
We'll get it figured out.
Cool. All right. So Alpha Pest, did you ever tell me, is your name on one of these rocks? Do you know if your name is on one of these rocks here? Like Morphine Bears here? That was her word apparently for 2022 spaghetti tacos. We were just talking about those last night. Robbie's gonna look through. That may take a while. Did you? So what we have is rocks if you sub, and they're painted, they're gonna have your name on it, the year, and your word for the year. and then they're going to go in my garden. And then I will always remember this year. Okay, this is the side I want. I think it's got a little bit of cilantro on it. It's not like I need a lot of stuff to cut here. Well, one was all messed up. Right, that's why I did a second one. Because fallen ages can't look messed up. Yes, probably. Okay. We'll get trash out of the way. Tamales take forever, don't they? So we're going to do dessert first, because that's the way we like to do it. And we need some bananas. And I will do fried plantains some other time.
I don't see one.
Okay, so Alpha Pest, what is your word for the year so that I can do a rock for you? I need some brown sugar and some butter and some lemon juice. All right, butter. Lemon juice. Brown sugar. Is this one open? That one's not open. That's not brown sugar. There we go. Whew. Not prepared. So here's what we need. What I need you to do is go get the vanilla ice cream.
Who, me?
Yes, you. So that's the ingredients. So the ingredients for Bananas Foster. Have any of you guys ever had Bananas Foster or made Bananas Foster? Here is our banana pudding cream moonshine. I'm hoping that this works with the cream in it. I guess we will find out if it does or not. It smells like banana cream pudding or banana pudding. So good times. We got banana. Yum. We have a banana. Traditionally, you just cut the banana in half like this for Bananas Foster. Although probably I should have done it the other way so it was flat. We'll make it flat. There it is. I have seen people slice it into rounds, but if you go someplace where this is like a specialty, it's going to be like that. Now what we want to do, I'm going to already go ahead and put some ice cream in here because this should go pretty quickly. And we'll all just eat out of the same bowl after we take a picture of it because it's going to be pretty. So Robbie needs to be ready with his camera. And hopefully he's listening to me. So this is going to be our dinner. Bananas Foster while we're waiting for the tamales. I should have started the stream earlier with the tamales. I will be next Sunday starting earlier. I think I'm going to do the stream at around noon so that those of you who wish to watch football will be able to. Yay, Rachel, you figured it out. Woo! Thank you, Rachel. Thank you so much for subscribing. Yay!
Thanks, Rachel, even though you're using my face now.
She's using your face. Okay. So since we're going to be flambeing this, we probably don't want to be using a wooden spoon. So let me find a good spoon here. It's supposed to be a long-handled spoon. Here's the problem. I don't really have a metal super long-handled spoon, so we're gonna have to use this. Oh, and Robbie resubscribed. Thank you.
9 months.
9 months. What? What? Thank you, guys. That's awesome. Okay. Slice of bananas. I've done that. Brush them with some lemon juice. Okay. Let me go get a brush. I feel better watching other streamers because they do the same thing I do, which is have to go get ingredients and read recipes. There's some that don't have to do that, and I don't know how you can keep all of that straight. All right, brushed with lemon juice. There we go. We'll dump that out. I'm just gonna check on the tamales. I think they need some water. So before I go any further, I wanna pour some water in there. Because I don't want all of our hard work to go to waste. That sounds better. All right, step 1 down. I've cut the bananas and put lemon juice on them. Step 2, melt the butter with the sugar in a skillet. Well, this is not a 10-inch skillet. Or is it? It's probably close enough. So it is, I think it's 2 tablespoons. Is that what it says?
Maybe.
2 tablespoons. So we'll take 2 tablespoons of butter. I'm shocked that Robbie has not gotten the fire extinguisher out yet.
I was trying to trust you.
I would get the fire extinguisher out. I don't know how moonshine reacts if I do this. And then a 1/4 cup of brown sugar. So nobody's ever tried to make this before?
So you haven't done this on stream? Then Miss Foster's made, I mean, maybe you just made it some other time.
I don't think I've made it.
Maybe I'm thinking of a TV show.
I've
It all runs together, Dana.
I've done like fried plantains and fried bananas and things like that, but I don't think I've made the bananas Foster. I don't think. If I have, tell me. But you get to see it again.
So are we about to have a flame?
Not yet,
Okay.
but soon. But soon.
Fire!
I'm gonna use a wooden spoon just to get this started, but when we put stuff over our bananas, you're gonna miss the flambe. What? If you can wait just a few minutes, we'll get there. You've been waiting all of this time for the flambe. Come, oh, you know what? I think I need to turn that on. No, I did turn it on. Oh, the mailman's coming. So you get, do you not have like a mailbox or?
Are you trying to get something in the post before?
Oh, maybe
they pick
that's
up?
it. Maybe.
And Dana's distracting you from getting that done.
You can always go back and watch it on the video.
Ah.
Oh,
pick up.
6 parcels to get. Here now, they just leave them wherever. I sent Kelsey a package that she got a couple of days ago, and they actually have a package room at her apartment complex, and they just left it in the front hall. And she was telling me, she's like, I kept saying, wow, somebody, because I had a box, it was a toilet paper box, that's what I sent it in. And she's like, wow, somebody's getting a lot of toilet paper, until she realized the person who had theirs on top, as she was walking, they had picked up their package. There's another one on top of hers. And she picked it up. The other person had picked up theirs, and she says, oh, wait a minute, that's my apartment number. Oh, this is my box. But she said, I'd walked by it for 2 days. It sat in the... It's like, wait, they have a room for packages. How lazy is that? How lazy. All right. So now we've got this going. We're gonna stick these. Oh, I broke a banana. Oh well.
You broke it.
I broke it.
Ruined it. Set it on fire.
Now I'm gonna break the other one. That is what is gonna happen.
Wait, you broke the one, so you broke the other one?
Mm-hmm. And we want this to start to really get some nice caramelization on it. Make sure they're covered with all the sugar. Wow, that's already melting over there. So there we go. Covers eyes. All right, so we don't want to use that. We do want quite a bit of this. So here's I'm gonna pour it over here because there's a good chance I'll spill some. Whoops.
Like on the floor, like just now?
Yep, that's okay. All right, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn the flame off real quick. Stick that in there. Ah, lighter.
Here we go. Fire! Oh, good, Elsa, you're back just in time.
I can put a little more in there. We can do that again. You're back? All right, we'll do it again. Thank you, thank you. We'll do it again. Here we go. You ready? I don't know if you guys can see it. It's not gonna flame now. Ah, but I need you to. Ah, I guess it's only one and done. Well, bummer. I'm afraid.
Elsa saw the first one.
You did see the first one? But I want to cook the alcohol out. And that is the best way. But I guess there's just not enough in the air.
You need to go get the good stuff.
Apparently.
That'll definitely catch on fire.
Yeah, I don't need a rocket fuel fire here. All right.
Well, I'm glad you got to see it, Elsa. I knew you were hanging in there for it.
All right, and then we're going to put our bananas on top of our ice cream over here.
I have a feeling we're going to be eating dessert first.
Yes. This will not keep. And we want to put a little of that sauce on there. And Robbie, do you have your camera ready?
Oh, camera.
Mm-hmm. Didn't I tell him to have his camera ready? Oh, here, how about if we see this, what I'm doing over here? That's it. That's what's in a Bananas Foster right there. And now you've got like this other caramel sauce over here too, if you need more. All right, you want to taste it?
If you're going to make me taste some dessert.
Okay. Because I think we're done chopping stuff. We're just waiting for things to cook now. So we may start cleaning up the kitchen. Hey, the Fat Crew Club. Thank you for the follow. Welcome in. How you doing? What's up? What brought you in today? I'm full of questions, aren't I? All right, I'm gonna taste this.
Are you making a mess?
Mm-hmm. Always. Always making a mess. I did mention to have a camera ready. Happy Sunday Fun Day! We're having dessert first for our fun day.
Thanks for being here.
Yes, thank you so much. So this is Bananas Foster. Hopefully you got to see me light a pan on fire and not burn the house down.
No fire extinguisher needed this time.
Maybe next time I make a prime rib, I'll have it ready. Oh, and we're just waiting for some tamales to cook. So what do we have? We have some rice cooking, and we've got guacamole done, and we've got a chunky salsa that I would call a pico de gallo more than a chunky salsa.
Yeah, it's pretty close to pico.
And we've got some chicken tamales that are already done, but we're waiting on our pork tamales to steam.
That's really good. I don't need dinner. I just need this.
This,
So if I can have 2 of these, I won't need dinner.
okay.
And I'm not just saying that because I'm worried I ruined some of the tamales.
So do you guys like bananas and like Bananas Foster? Because that's a good way to use your banana pudding moonshine.
Oh yeah, no, it's
So somebody had told me you can do shots, make like Banana Foster shots with the banana cream moonshine. I didn't look up a recipe for that. I figure we have to,
it sounds dangerous,
that you have to work
but
tomorrow.
I'd be willing to try.
Well, let me see. Hey Google, show me recipes for
I don't know she meant right now.
Banana Foster shots. Well, why not?
Here are some recipes.
All right.
So I shouldn't eat all of it.
No, you can eat all of that.
Man, that's good.
Okay, so you're supposed to have 1.5 ounces of brandy, a tablespoon and a half of brown sugar, and 2 ounces of banana rum cream, which that's what this would be. But that's a big shot. Doesn't that sound like a
That
big
sounds more
shot?
like a drink.
Like that sounds more like that's like about 4 ounces. Maybe that's a two words, a 2-person, a recipe for 2 of them. That's what I'm trying to say. Ooh. Well, this is pretty good. And we used moonshine with it instead of rum. You left me over here with all of this to eat.
I already ate more than half of it, I think.
That's fine, you can finish it.
I was pigging out. And I didn't know if you needed part of that for your shot thing.
For my what?
The Bananas Foster
Oh no, I
shot.
don't need this for a shot. That's good. Let me check on the rice. Let's see how the rice is doing.
I think we're getting close on the tamales.
Yeah, probably. The rice is also looking like it's getting close over here too. I don't know how much of that liquid. It's still got a lot of liquid in it though. All right, I'm just gonna keep eating. All right, so what do we have coming up? Just as a reminder of what we got coming up in February. On Thursday, I always want to say Tuesday. Why do I want to say Tuesday? On Thursday, we're going to be doing an Italian wedding soup. I'm going to be making the meatballs from scratch. And then on Sunday, next Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday, we'll go on the air around noon. Check out in the Discord or on the social medias. I'll post the time there. And what we're going to be making for sure are some little Nashville chicken hot sliders using waffle fries for the bun and some chili. I don't know what else I'm making because I don't know what we're doing for Super Bowl yet, but we're going to be making at least those 2 things. On the following Thursday, on the 17th, we're going to do some Korean tacos. And if Morphine Bear is in here, we'll be using their macadamia nuts to make some cookies.
Oh, I thought you were doing spaghetti tacos again for a second. And I was very concerned.
No more spaghetti tacos. On the 20th, charity stream, Gouda stuffed burgers. And I think I'm going to be doing a lava cake on that day. And then on the Thursday, the 24th, we'll be doing sanbei ji. I'm not exactly sure how to say it, but it's a Taiwanese chicken dish. And then you gotta be there for the following Sunday on the 27th because Robbie and I are gonna make our famous short rib ravioli. We'll be making everything from scratch. So, and it's got a mushroom cream sauce that's made with the braising liquid from the short ribs. It is outstanding. It's probably my favorite thing we make. And we haven't done it on stream yet because it's time consuming, like tamales. So be prepared, come with a snack. I'll have to make a snack for Robert over there. Ooh, you got a new job this week. Sherpa.
I was trying really hard to figure out what in the world you were talking about. What was that from again? From a show?
From a show? No, we were out to dinner with friends and we were talking about taking the backpack and going to Europe.
That's right.
And they thought a streaming backpack weighed 100 pounds or something. And so Robbie was going to be a Sherpa. It's like the backpack doesn't weigh that much.
What you got there?
This was the bananas Foster. I can make you want some bananas Foster?
She's more than willing to set things on fire again.
Did you miss when I set this on fire?
Yeah.
Oh.
Don't know how I didn't notice a fire. It's
Sweet.
only sitting a few feet away.
It's only for 3 to 5 seconds. It's not too long.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got plenty of moonshine, and I'm sure chat won't mind seeing it again.
You want to here, get a spoon and taste that and see if that tastes good, and then I can do the banana and the ice cream and the whole thing for you. Nah? Okay.
I'll try a taste of it, but
Okay. Awesome. So do we have anything else? Oh, our goal for bits for this time around, we made it last time. And so I made that chocolate caramel rouleau that came out so good. Challenged myself this time for the Milk Bar birthday cake. I think we've got a picture of it somewhere. I'm a little worried about making that, but I can do it. It just probably won't look quite as pretty. So that is our goal on that. Was there anything else I was supposed to talk about?
I think that's it. You already
That's it?
talked about maybe doing a charity stream. And
Yeah. Yep.
any more pork?
Huh? Yeah, it's in the refrigerator.
Oh.
I was trying to clean up and put some stuff away. Yeah. So there we go. All right, we're almost ready. These tamales, I may take a couple out, but I want to show you the difference between when you let them sit versus when you eat them right away, so that you can understand why you want them to sit. Okay. So when they have been sitting, this paper peels away, the corn husk peels away very, very easily, and you can actually take them and freeze them like this if you want to. Or you can leave them in the paper and re-steam them. Okay, so these are the chicken ones. And they're cold, you may want to heat that up. If I take the ones out of here right away,
that looks very hot.
it's hot. Okay, hang on.
Tongs.
Stop that.
Tongs.
I'm looking for tongs. Oh my gosh. They're always so worried about me.
You literally
Stop burning
you
yourself.
burned yourself and cut yourself on
Whatever.
stream.
So worried. I still got to touch this. All right. So if you take them out right away and don't let them sit, the masa is still wet and it sticks to the paper a little bit. Although this one did pretty good. So this one may not have proven my point too much. But you can tell the texture is very different between the two of them, right? So letting them sit for a little bit. Not this long, this one is cold, but there's that. All right, let's try one. I already know the chicken one's really good. Let's try this pork
Because
one
we
here.
weren't using chicken the second time.
We were not
That was-
using chicken
was
the
before.
second time.
So I was
This
paying
is true.
attention
Were you? Were you?
some of the time.
And I really need to cover my guacamole because it's already starting to oxidize here a little bit. We'll put a little guacamole on there.
Do you need a photo?
I'm actually going to make another plate when we're
Okay.
done on a different
I'll let
one.
you handle that then.
Yeah. And then I'm just trying to make it pretty for chat because they also deserve a pretty plate.
And it tastes better that way.
Do. Remember last time I tried to get something out of one of these and it went all over the place?
It kind of exploded.
Yeah.
Ah!
Like that. Ah. Okay, well that didn't work.
Oh, man.
See, here on Dana's Kitchen, we can have a sense of humor about stuff. So if you want sour cream on there, you can have some.
Some? Or like half a bottle?
We're gonna make it pretty at least, sort of. Hey, it did not go all over the place. That other one was all over the floor, all over you, all over me, all over the dogs. It was everywhere. So I'm glad that you're more about taste than looks. You are in the right place. All right, you wanna come over and taste this? Who's gonna taste?
Well, that depends. Are things done exploding over there? Is
I'm
it
done.
Safe?
I'm done.
It's safe to come over?
We're done. Hey, Gamona,
You know what?
you want to come taste?
Yes!
All right. I'm going to take that first bite.
That looks good.
That's very good.
That's really good.
That gets
Really,
2
really
thumbs up.
good.
That was really, really good.
You can finish that if you want. Because there's plenty more, so we'll make some plates. I know. So good, huh?
Not bad.
So, but that's the way you eat it. You want to make sure if you are someplace and you're eating a tamale and the corn husk or the banana leaf or whatever they're using to wrap it up if it's still on it, don't eat it. It's not a sandwich. No, we do not eat the husk.
Yeah, that's what I tried the first time.
Yeah, this would be very hard, if not impossible, to chew. And it wouldn't taste good. It'd be like eating, corn husks.
Did you want to?
It was impossible, and I went.
It is fiber.
I don't know how to eat this. I give up.
Yeah, it is fiber, but it's not yummy.
I just like eating coconut shells or wood chips. Is
Yeah,
fiber.
exactly. So not what you want. I think this one's my fork. Okay.
Did you want to find one of mine to see how it turned out?
Oh, that's right. We have to look for one of Robbie's, don't we?
You know, with the giant X's on them instead of check marks because you were being very negative.
I also put check marks on them. If I can find them. Aha, here's one. All right, here's one of Robbie's. Let's open it up and see how it is. All right, it's very hot. See, there's the check mark, so we know it's Robbie's. You see, that's what happens when they're a little too thin. Because
Well,
then we
you
didn't.
didn't let it rest. I'm blaming it on that.
Okay.
You were just proving your point
It'll
on
still
that.
it'll still taste good, but the problem is that you need to have you don't want it to have so much so that the masa doesn't cook, but you also don't want to have too little that it doesn't cover the filling completely.
So the masa was too thin.
Yeah. So we may have several that look like this. That's okay. That's okay.
This is what happens when you involve me in the process.
And then we also have some rice over here that I'm not quite sure is done yet, but we'll take out some and see if it is. Our very simple Mexican rice. Oh yeah, it's got a lot of liquid in it. I think that's what I remember about this recipe, is that it had too much liquid for the rice. And give that a try. You know what? I didn't put any salt in this, did I? It's very tomatoey. I think that this recipe has too much. I would cut down the tomatoes by half and make sure that I add salt into it, salt and pepper. But other than that, it's good. I just don't like my rice to be too tomatoey. So that's it. That's our show. So I want to appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Let's figure out who we're going to go say hello to. I'm going to come over here and look. Who are we going to say hello to? Why don't we go to, we'll try, have we gone to Minnesota Taz before?
Maybe once. But we can go there.
All right, let's go check out Minnesota Taz, another food and drink streamer. I don't think we've actually rated Minnesota Taz, so let's make sure that we say, woo! Even if you're not gonna hang out for a while. But yeah, let's go, and let me just remind you guys how much I appreciate you so much that you sat through here while we made tamales for 3 hours. And not only that, but you gave me a break and made Robbie do some of it. So thank you so
Yes, thank
very,
you
very
guys.
much. And yeah, let's go and make some noise. Woo!